if y'all. I've been seeking this special secret. This is something that I've been trying to put my friends on. And I finally found it, you know. This is a champagne secret smoke. Wanna share it with y'all, so tap in. Scoot up for a second. Let's talk.
Confidants, what is your profession? See my friend, nothing but soldiers and empowerment over here.
Pop that cork, let it rain, living lavish, no restraint.
Yeah, if you like me, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you don't, then keep that same energy. If you see me, then keep that same energy. If you won't, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you like me, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you don't, then keep that same energy. If you see me, then keep that same energy. If you want, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you like me, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you don't, then keep that same energy. If you see me, then keep that same energy. If you want, then keep that same energy. you like me, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you don't, then keep that same energy. If you see me, then keep that same energy. If you want, then keep that same energy.
Y'all listen. Yeah, I've been doing all this talking. And I forgot to add myself to the stage so y'all can hear me. Lord Jesus have mercy. Oh Lord. Can y'all hear me now? Please drop in the comments and let me know that you can hear. Let me know that you can hear me. Y'all been going off. I've been snapping. And y'all ain't heard nothing. I just happened to open up the comments and look, and Zach said, can't hear. Can't hear. Look, I hadn't even added myself to the stage so y'all can hear. I'm just talking away. Let me start over. Hold on. I'm a pause, right? I'm a pause and I'm gonna come back, okay? Okay, we're gonna try it again. Hold on.
Yeah, if you like me, then keep that same energy. Yeah, if you don't, then keep that same energy.
Champagne gang, fizz fam, come on in and welcome back to the Champagne City, baby. You see it. Come on in for Talk Yo Shh. You heard me. It's time to come in and get it off our chest. Today we doing some random venting. That's what we doing. We're talking about this timeline is cooked, baby. So come on in so we can talk about it, because y'all, it's a lot going on. It is. Listen, it is a lot going on. Ain't no standards, ain't no morals, nothing, baby. So listen, we finna get into it. We gonna be dropping the link so y'all can come up. You know, usually we do our Talk Yo Shh, where we drop the link and let people come up who have some stuff to get off their chest, because we got to start releasing a lot of that negativity. Our problem, we got so much negativity just built up on the inside of us. We do. Just too much from the day, from the week, and everything. I know. And I'm sitting there, y'all. I had talked about y'all. I did, and y'all couldn't even hear it. I said, I know, because we are an older crowd, right? I said, y'all know some of us start getting tired around 9, 10 o'clock. And I have the unmitigated goal to want to have a late night show at 11 p.m. Our ankles be done swole up, our feet be tired, back hurting. Y'all know how it do. Over about 42, 43. Listen, child, about 10 o'clock, you wish somebody would call you about going out. And I had a nerve. Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, so what we doing today is we're talking about our timeline is cooked. We gonna touch it all. Because stuff didn't change. Stuff was different when we was kids. Not some of y'all. Some of y'all babies don't understand a lot of what the old folk be talking about when we be talking, the older generation, because I think now I classify as older generation. So when we start talking about stuff that was going on when we was kids, see, a lot of y'all don't understand. Because y'all don't have Big Mama. Y'all don't have Big Papa. No, no, y'all grandmom's 26 and 33. Some of y'all parents just about the same old age as y'all. So y'all don't understand a lot of what we be talking about. But we gonna get into it. So I'm getting ready to drop the link and we just gonna talk. I don't care if you're a subscriber. I don't care if you're not a subscriber. I don't care if you're a member. It doesn't matter. We just gonna come up. We gonna talk. Um, for y'all chiming in. Y'all know my allergies are cutting up. So if y'all hear me going in and out, it's because I got a little cockatoo in my throat. That's my phrase for coughing. I don't want y'all to think I'm hiding because I got a cock or two in my throat. That's what I call, coughing in the Champagne City. But I just thought about it because, I'm a little medicated. So if y'all ready to come up, I'm finna drop the link. Let's come up and let's have a good time and talk shh on this Saturday night. Because I know y'all got some stuff to get off your chest. And listen. Like I said, he got a dragon. He sounds demonically possessed. Child, cause listen, and it came out of nowhere. I hate it. And I only really deal with getting sick and allergies in the springtime. It's in the springtime and in the beginning of winter, like when it's transitioning from fall to winter. That's the other time that I really start dealing with being sick. And it just really be allergies. Right now it's all like nasal, and you know how you get that random itch in your chest and in the back of your throat and you gotta like cough it out. Yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. And it's so hot today, which is crazy as to why I'm like sneezing and coughing and eyes watering and all of that right now. But while I wait to see if anybody is coming up, so let me say this. So I was having a conversation with Nisi B, one of my confidants. Cause see, I communicate. Me and my confidants actually have relationships and talk. I get ideas from them. We get on the phone and do research together. Look at them coming in. Look at my people. I agree with you, Progressive. This about to be interesting. Welcome to the stage, my people.
Why it sound like we got some extra background going on?
If you got the TV on, then you're gonna echo. You gotta
Why
make
it
sure
sound like we got some extra background? Yeah, somebody gotta turn their TV
you gotta
off.
turn your TVs down.
Yeah, I don't got mine on. All right, that sounds better. I got a pet peeve that I want to start off with.
Okay, let's go.
Is you ready? I mean, I don't
I'm
even know
ready.
if you're ready. I'm tired of uncomfortable people always taking their uncomfortableness out on everybody. You remember that dude yesterday on the video we was covering? He had more TTs than the girl he shot. I really feel like people need to quit using their low self-esteem to go kill people. If that means self-esteem within yourself. Remember when Kat said that? Go handle
Yeah.
your business with God and be praying and stuff. You ain't got to take it out on everybody else and shoot them. Why everybody got to die because you don't feel right? I'm just trying to get an understanding. That's all. I'm confused.
You confused at the
Yeah, I'm
Baptist body
confused.
built buffalo from
Yeah,
yesterday?
he He was built like an upside down cupcake. So why he gotta go take it out on everybody else?
You feel like the back end of a moose talking about controlling somebody. Please go sit down. Please.
Exactly. Oh my god. He looked like an angry Pokemon.
That nigga looked like the blob, like he was melting. That's what the hell he looked like. He looked like what was that? What was that stuff they used on Ghostbusters to melt the ghosts?
Oh, you talking about the slime?
Yeah,
The
that's
glob.
what he looked.
You
Yeah.
said that nigga feel like the glob. A fat ass raindrop.
Welcome to the stage.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, thank you
Wonder
so
why.
very much. Thank you so very much. Don't mind me. I'm a little medicated, but I definitely want to extend mine. This is definitely a pet peeve of mine. Um, I don't know what switch came on or what switch went off, but I thought the whole process of using the phone was to be able to put it to your ear and to exercise discretion. I'm tired of
Yeah.
being in the restaurant. I'm tired of being shoot on the toilet in the public restroom. Excuse me for being a little too frank. And I gotta hear your phone conversation. I don't want to know who called what, and I don't want to know what time your baby daddy is on with the eight. I'm just trying to use the restroom to get up out of here. But I get all of this hey, take that speakerphone off and put that phone back up to your ear. Respect.
I had to turn off my mic because I was over here hollering. Do you hear me? Because he is so right.
Girl, you be sitting there in the aisle of the grocery store like, damn, James did what? Bro, that's fucked up. Look, then you know you gotta go and get on the phone with somebody else and tell them like, girl, I was in the grocery store today. This girl had her phone on speaker, baby, and I heard a whole Tubi movie going on the other end.
Not a
And do you gotta do women gotta wear their bonnet everywhere? Like I'm just saying everywhere. Like ain't nowhere in the world you supposed to be on a job interview with your half of your hair out and your bonnet hanging in the back, and then you mad that you didn't get the job. I'm not understanding. You just gotta wear it everywhere,
Everywhere.
and even with grease coming through it, and the gel and the hair grease, all of that gotta be on it
Listen,
too.
let me tell you how bad it was. I used to be a property manager, and I was a property manager for like 5 years. And I managed not only that, I did the whole thing. And that's why I be so frustrated sometimes. But I did the whole thing from getting the tenants to signing the lease with them to putting them in the house, doing the walkthrough to if they didn't pay rent, putting them on paid plans and collecting the rent, filing the evictions, going to eviction court, getting it ready, starting it all over again. When I would tell you the way some of them girls would come in eviction court with
Mm.
a bonnet
Mm.
and house shoes and night clothes on, I wanted to tell the commissioner right then, evict them, please.
Right, because people
Please evict.
taking this free will to a whole nother level. I
Yeah.
got free speech. I can do what I want to do, but you just don't know how that make you look, Miss Ma'am. For real, that's you don't go no place eating with a greasy bonnet. I like that don't go together.
Right. But that's because we become so lax. Like there was a period of time that you had to look a certain way when you left out the house. Baby, your mamas wouldn't let you leave out the house looking any kind of way. Never. Not my mama. And I don't know about your mama.
That
But
part.
not my mama.
That part and your
That
Sunday best
that
was the
part.
best. Okay.
Hey, the level of Vaseline that we use in black homes at a period in time knew no bounds. Mama and daddy didn't even, especially mama, didn't even want you to have no ash on your face. You ain't lived until you had a thumb licked and rubbed against your face. Then let me
Exactly. I
get
was
that
just
off your
thinking
face.
that.
You ain't gonna be out here embarrassing me. Like, but I'm myself. No, you're not yourself back then. You're a representation of all of us. And somewhere they got lost.
Didn't that used
Exactly.
to be it though? Didn't that you ain't gonna be embarrassing me? That was the phrase, cause you better not get in public and embarrass mama. You bet not get in public and do anything to embarrass mama. From the way you look, leave out the house with mismatched clothes on if you want to. Leave out the house and your shirt wasn't tucked in your pants if you was a little boy. Leave out the house like that if you didn't with no socks on, with your hair not combed. Please, but see, that's the difference in this new generation and the old generation. That's because we had mamas with standards. We had mamas that cared. Me and Niecy, me and you was talking earlier about how crazy it is. Like we talk about this whole Diddy situation. And the reason I haven't really jumped into this Diddy trial is because they're trying to hang everything on Diddy. And at the end of the day, baby, this ain't nothing new. This Diddy stuff, if we took the time, and maybe we'll go on like Twitch or Rumble one day, because you know you can't really play music on YouTube. You'll get strikes and all of that. But one day we gonna have to go to what is it, Twitch or Rumble, and we gonna have a conversation about how music has changed, and really play the music so y'all can really hear how this music had changed. Because we had music back in the day. Okay, y'all don't remember this? Since everybody's so harped on Diddy, and Diddy's a monster and die backstage, underage, adolescent. How she doing?
Yep.
Fine. I replied. She replied, I like to do the wild thing. Action took
Yep.
place. Kinda late. Don't forget. Y'all y'all didn't quote them lyrics. I need a body bag. What does that mean? That means he took down a little girl
Saying
backstage.
yes.
And we was singing the hell out of Poison.
You ain't
Do you
even
know
got to go
why?
back there.
Go ahead, Father Lot.
You
Oh no, I
what's
was
Father
just
like
making sure y'all
speaking?
could hear me because I couldn't hear
Oh,
y'all.
oh yeah, I could definitely hear you. You ain't even got to go back that
Okay.
far. Nelly said, and I quote, driving them out of high school straight into the pros. On,
See,
on,
Yep.
and we singing the hell out these songs. But here's the difference though, right? Even though we were singing them songs because the little hot ass adolescent he was talking about, that was a lot of us. See, this was our generation music. That was a lot of us. And a lot of us, if we had the opportunity, we wanted to be with one of the industry boys because they was popping. See, this is before we knew they was all screwing each other and little kids and trafficking little kids. The difference was we had parents with standards. That's the difference. These kids don't.
Yep.
Because how the
Standards,
hell do
moral
you
compass, direction,
as a
stability,
parent, take your
foundation, all
child
that.
to a studio with a grown nigga and leave her all night? How as a mother? So the reason why I'm not so hyped up on this Diddy thing, because if you gonna take down this rabbit hole, you need to go down all the rest too. Lock them all up.
now, if now this is the thing for me as far as the Diddy case is concerned. Like, there's so many voices speaking, and it always remains the same. I don't care who you are, from the highest to the lowest. It's his side, it's her side, and then it's the truth. Now, if this is factual, these things that they are presenting, this was not just a monster acting out with Cassie. It was two monsters living together, and one was greater than the other. Now, if that was factual, this whole interview they're running around, allegedly, that she's threatening to kill, not hurt you, not maim you, not sure. I will murder you. Regular people don't just say things like that.
That's right. I agree.
But this is the thing, though. I said it in the midst of the chat. Nothing exceeds like access. The more that you have will reveal who you really are. So while people are running to get stuff and to be more, you better make sure that what's on the inside can handle more.
But it's gonna unleash the
Wow.
beast. It's gonna release the kraken. Is what's gonna happen, and that's what we really seeing in today's society. It ain't that the beast just showed up. It ain't the beast was created. The beast was already there. They just got the money, prestige, and the power to be able to unleash the beast.
Well, a lot of them finna be broke down because Hollywood falling. Ain't nobody finna have no dollars. Everybody finna be broke because they
But
going
here,
from dude to dude and
this is the
taking their
problem,
dollars.
though. A puppet has strings. If you
Yep.
don't kill the puppet master can connect those strings to any puppet he want. That's the problem with the Diddy case. Somebody protected Diddy all this time.
Yep.
Somebody allowed what he was, the
Uh,
Weinstein case, the Epstein case. Somebody protected these people and allowed this to happen all this time. Unless you're going to name the puppet master, I don't care about the puppets because there will always be another puppet.
now,
Mhm. Oh, it's one in the making right now. After Diddy,
now,
and
what
all
I
these
think
other ones go down, they got another one in the making. Hmm.
Because you
The
gotta
system,
kill the puppet master.
the system will always replenish itself. And I had to learn this lesson the hard way. Everything that you need to
now
see
what
is
I think
always
about
right before your
the whole
face.
ordeal. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no. I was saying everything that you need to see is right before your face. The system is going to keep going. They're just tired of the people they had in position in the system. I'll give you a prime example. Now, Tiana Taylor, love her artistry, love her music, but she's filling the void because people can't per se be like, they're still going to Beyonce shows, but they like, I don't know. So let me put something in place until we figure it out. Maybe this will be the new way. Maybe we'll go back to the old way, but I just want to keep you entertained.
But
If
Yeah,
I
that's the
keep
day
you
I've
and
been
age that
I've
we
entertained,
been
live
hearing
in.
that.
you miss.
I've been hearing and reading that Beyonce been having to give fans money back. That them little shows ain't bopping. And then Jay Z finna try post a so called allegedly make her do another tour. But I heard them tours ain't popping, and she losing a
Ain't
lot of
nobody,
fans.
ain't nobody making money right now on no tour, but except Chris Brown and Kendrick Lamar. Everybody else is
Exactly.
just extra.
Exactly. It ain't Beyonce turn no more. Not trying to be funny. It ain't your turn. You need to just go sit down somewhere. They done turned the page, baby. Okay. You got people like Za and all these other girls trying to come up now, and it's not your turn no more. Okay, ma'am. That's just how I see it. It's not her turn no more.
Let me get, hold on.
And
I had a
Empress, you
lot
said
coming back
something
in.
earlier. Okay. You
Uh-huh.
said something earlier, and I definitely want to add this to talk your pajamas in public. The only time that pajamas is approved in public, acceptable pajamas, is when walking to the mailbox or for some unexpected beef. Outside of that,
Amen.
grocery store
Amen.
is not the place. Church is not the place.
Court.
It's just not the place. It's called sleepwear. If you're
That's
not
right.
sleeping, you need to slide on up out of that wear, or at least lounging around the house. I'm saying within reason. It's not for public wear.
But here's the problem. When there's no longer a standard, when there's no longer ethics, when there's no longer boundaries, these are the things
Morality.
that become okay. And not only is it no longer that, but you had a whole industry. I'm gonna give you an example. Back in the day, You couldn't just randomly call a girl a bitch. And even if you were a female, if you called another female a bitch, those was fighting words.
Fighting
But
words.
what
That's
happened
right.
was
Pretty much.
you made it because music made it so popular because it became bitch this, bitch that, bitch this, bitch
That's
that, bitch.
right.
It
That's
became
right.
music and TV desensitizes the world to things that it should remain sensitive
That's
regarding.
right. That's right.
And
Now I'm
because
definitely with
again,
you.
you didn't have Mima and Pawpaw them there to stand up and say, I wish you would say it. I wish you would do it. I wish you would leave out the house with that little bitty skirt on. I wish you would leave
You
out this
better
house
say
with
it.
all your titties showing. I wish you would. Mama would slap you into some new clothes. What you mean? But see, we don't have the mamas
Exactly.
no more. We got the mamas now who tell you it's your body. Show it if you want to.
I
Yeah.
These
definitely,
Yup.
mamas out
I
here
definitely,
basically
They
running.
be all in the videos with them,
Yeah.
What?
pictures
I,
with
They
them,
worse
all
than
that.
Diddy, ain't they, Father? Like they worse than Diddy in the video.
I definitely agree with you, Empress, especially on the
Hi,
aspect of the.
Sammy.
Yes. I've seen many times
Somebody
I'm
in the
on
comments
like
I'm
Twitter or
speaking to,
something, like
y'all.
I'm looking up stories or something like that, and I'll so happen to run across a post or somebody doing a video, and you see these skimpy clothes on these young ladies and bouncing their boobs and bouncing their buttocks, and then she was doing more than what the daughter was doing. I was like, at what point did moral compass set into your mind that this stuff is on the internet? I don't care what you delete, it's out there. And then the minute somebody get in these videos and get to calling them whores, get to body shaming them, getting to tell them they ain't worth nothing, then it's, oh, he's talking about. You put yourself line between tasteful and distasteful. Where do you
Mhm.
draw the line? Where do you find within yourself? It's almost like they see other girls do it, and it's like, oh, let me see if I can outshame myself against her. Oh, she thinks she doing it. I can do better than that. And it's like, why would you want to further shame yourself worse than she did? You don't find that this y'all got kids. What are y'all babies supposed to think of this? What are the men that are with you supposed to think of this? And then the minute he don't want to marry you or take you home to meet his family, then what you're trying to say, why would he want to take you somewhere to meet his
Right.
family? I don't want to say to you, they're one of my kids. And vice versa, the men is even worse. And that I don't, and that's really getting on my nerve. Now, here where my pen peeve come in at. What is wrong with these men doing this crap, man? Like, when was it okay for a man to have his ASS out?
Right.
Walking around with these sagging
Right.
pants with their asses out, dirty drawers, sweat lines and their cracks and shit. What is the
Shit
problem?
freaks.
I'm sorry.
That's just
Let me
sad.
calm down.
Cause that make him a thug, y'all. Cause that make him a thug. Hey, y'all,
See,
everybody who's in the chat, because I
how do
do
you
see we
feel?
have a few
See,
people in
how
the chat. We are doing
now I'm
Talk
finna come.
Yo
Empress,
on Friday night.
Empress, you're gonna have to
You
give
want
me
to
the blue
come up
pill.
and
I need to calm
talk
down.
your
You're gonna have to send me the blue pill.
if you want to come up and
Because
talk
as a
your and
man,
tell your opinion, the link is in the chat. So you are free and willing to come up and talk your with us as well and talk about your
please
pet
do.
peeves that's going on in
Please
this
do.
timeline because this world is cooked. And tonight we talking about it. Go ahead, Father Lot.
Now, I want to say, now, you know the deal. Now, I don't hide nothing. I'm very outspoken, very upfront, and very transparent. As a man of the LGBTQ community, the way we see that is if you are a thug and you say that you're all man, let me just go and say all the acronyms and that they say, I'm a real man, I'm a real thug, I'm this and that. Well, I would think as a real man, you say, if I'm gonna show anything on my body, have it out, it wouldn't be behind me to be in front of me. If you're not finna walk around with your pipe out, why would you walk around with your ass out and think that that looks manly in any type of way? Period. And women that date y'all need to start telling y'all about that. Because let me tell you where that comes from for the men who don't know where that comes from. That comes from being incarcerated, and you walk around like that in jail to let the other inmates know that you get popped. You ain't got to worry about your girlfriend in here.
That's facts.
They walk around to that's their signal to let you know I get popped. So if you're looking
Right.
for a good time, I'm right here. So walking around out here in public, what you think that says to us? And we don't walk around like that at all. You would
Ain't
think
it crazy?
we would walk around like that. It's all to emasculate men, the alpha male, the divine masculine. Is to tear it down, and it irritates me because it seems like it's so welcomed now to emasculate men. These men, and then it's not even nobody emasculating you. You're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
I be want to punch him in the throat. And the minute you call them a fruit basket or a fruit fly, or tell them that a couple of bags of sugar missing from Walmart, or they suffering from type 2 diabetes, then you wrong.
We gonna let
And it's
Father
like
Lot calm
stuff,
down.
man. Like girl, like it's too much. It be too much. Yeah, type 2 diabetes. Because you can't make me see you as masculine in any way walking around with your buttocks out. I don't care because you got on underwear. That's so distasteful as a man. I had a argument with a man about this. And he was so upset that I was telling him, and what I did, Empress, is I pulled him to the side, a young guy, and I said, why do y'all dress like that? Why do you wear that? I think, man, this is cool. I said, it's just a trend. Do you know what you're setting an example at? What you're making people think? Do you know where that come from? And when I told him where it come from, it almost like he wanted to go take himself and do something to get put in jail. Like it went over his head. It didn't even register with him, and it was sad. It's really sad to me.
And that's like
It's
all
like,
these women that walk around
y'all
with no
and-
clothes on. It's the same thing on the
Right.
flip
That's
side.
right. It's very much
No,
akin to the
because I'm
women
a
that walk
woman, I'm
around.
not going to
You're
agree
right.
with it.
You're very
I'm
much
not going to agree
very
with it
right.
because I'm a woman. No, cover up. There's still a such thing as decorum. There's still a such thing as ladies. Again, I say, this is why we need the older generation that's still not trying to be city girls and party girls, but still trying to impart wisdom into these younger ladies, because we were taught as kids that men are hunters. So you got to give them something to hunt
Yep.
for. And if you
I'm
showing
glad
all
you
your
went. I'm
goodies,
glad
then
you
you
went there.
hunt away from it. So all he have left is to screw you. That's what we were taught.
Yeah, close that door.
So many, I agree with you, Krabby. So many creeps out here. I don't know how they even feel comfortable doing that. How? Why would you want to have diabetes? Why would you want to dress? Who are you doing it for? And we as women got to stop lying to ourselves and say, I put this on to make me feel good. No, you didn't. You put it on so a nigga can look at you.
And to be
That's what you
messy.
put it on for.
You don't go around couples and dress like you finna go get on the pole. That's disrespectful as hell. If you see a woman sitting there with her man, or if you go, let's say you go to a only couples event, why would you come up in there with half naked, knowing dang on well? So that means you a seeker of somebody else's man. It's a lot of these women like being side chicks, and it's really a hot mess about that too. I mean, I don't get it. Won't you go? It's called not yours. I don't get it. Like, why would you want to be messy and keep on trying to have babies by married men and be a side piece? Who has a career in being a side piece? Who has a career in that? I don't get that.
That does not show that.
I realized it.
Every time you turn around somebody marrying somebody's ex-husband, fried chicken with them. And it's almost like marriage and divorce is almost like you changing your underwear. It's
What?
crazy.
This is the culture of
Nobody seems
sharing.
to take it
If- if-
serious. No one takes anybody
This is
else's relationship serious. And it's almost like they look to target a good relationship. It's almost like they hate if your relationship is doing great.
This is the
So
thing.
let me see what I can do. Put some lemon juice, some sand castles. Let me see what I can do to add a little dirt to it. Put a little dash of pepper, spice some things up. And
And
it's so
why
unnecessary.
is we as older people got to be a hater just because we speak on stuff that we didn't grow off of and see as ourselves? Like, we are the older setting right here. Yes, a lot of us about to be 50 in a minute. Some of us finna be 45. Some of us finna be 40. So just because we speak up on something that we know ain't right, why is the first thing that these younger people say is, you just hating? That's another thing I can't stand. Why somebody got to be hating on you? Why it can't be about being right or wrong? Everything ain't about hating. Everything is about morality. That's what it's about. Y'all forgot about that.
First of all, hate is an emotion, and you're not that important for nobody to even
Like, why the
invoke.
hell would we want
That's
to
what
hate
irritates
you?
me when they say
I
it.
don't understand that.
And secondly, you should hate what you doing. Why you talking about I'm hating on you for doing it? I'm not hatred. All right, that you know why they say that, and this is my belief on why it's being said. And I'm sorry if I
You
cut
gotta
somebody off.
put the phone closer to your mouth and jump in there, Progressive.
Oh, Progressive trying to
And-
talk. My bad, Progressive.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
y'all
even know somebody was
You're
speaking
good.
because everybody cutting out on me, on my end.
Y'all good. Y'all good. This is the thing. You're talking about two different systems and two different levels of commitment to parenting and to community. Remember when you used to come home from school, whether it be from grade school to high school, and you came in and things are on your television, despite what things may have happened minor, you had Bill Cosby show, you had Family
Yes.
Matters, you had things that showed the culture that you're beautiful. You can have things. Now you got Now That's TV, you got Zeus, you got Love Island, where if you don't like the partner you with, then you can go and see if you want to try out another partner and then go back to that partner if you decide that it wasn't a thing. That type of stuff didn't happen. The people in our generation, our grandparents, they stayed together with 15 or more children in some cases and made it until they died.
Amen.
Because you
Amen.
had two different types of
I'm a
systems,
living witness to
two
that.
different sets of things being poured into them. You got to look at what's being poured into this generation, which is a lot of bullshit.
That's right.
It
That's
is.
right.
And you're right about what you're saying. I'm a living witness to that. Being a sibling of 35, there's 34 boys and one girl. My sister's the last of the Mohicans, and she's the only female. It's we know what that's like to come home, and you couldn't even watch programs if they said "damn" too many times.
Facts.
Exactly. Exactly.
Come on, mama one going, grandma one going. Y'all finna
To
watch
this
Sesame
day,
Street. Y'all gonna go in there and watch, like he said, the Cosby Show. Y'all better get in there and watch the Brady Bunch. Sit down and watch some 8 is enough. And if that ain't enough, the bed is calling your
Try to
name.
watch Days of Our Lives with Granny. I wish you would have snuck in there. I wish you would have snuck into an adult conversation while adults
No,
were in the
you
room
couldn't even
talking
watch
and thinking
soap
you gonna
operas, and
put
that's
your point in.
Amen,
I
Champagne,
forgot
because
about the
that's
soap
what
operas,
they
right? They
doing
wouldn't
now,
even let
letting
you
their
watch
kids be a
soap because
part
they
of
were too
adult
adult to them.
conversations. Ain't no way in the world a child should be coming in, an 8-year-old should be telling you about what Jane and Joe did yesterday and interrupting your conversation with your homegirl about what's going on with grown people.
Say it
Right.
again.
Ain't no way in the
Say it
world.
again.
Ain't no way in the
Now, I
world a
witnessed that, and it
child
hurt
should
my
be involved in a
feelings
grown
so
person conversation. A child should be in a
bad. My
child's
niece,
place. Mm-mm.
my niece and my daughter. Now, what mother? Now, here's this. Now, I understand as a mother because you have to raise your daughter. You have to instill that when your daughter is ready, you know when your kid's ready. And if you're that type of parent and your daughter feels comfortable enough to come to you and sit down and talk to you about those things, I can see you equipping your baby for that moment. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Are you sure this is who you want it to be? You know, so and so and so and so, whatever have you. I watched my niece sit here, and my great niece, my daughter, had her little sexual experience, or whatever the case may be. Do you know that? I almost said something. Do you know she sat there with her and went into detail with her daughter on what her and her boyfriend did, down to what all things happened, what sexual positions happened, everything. Like how I wouldn't even want to know what sexual things my children are into. Me knowing that you sexually active is enough for me. I have to
Right.
deal with that enough to know what you into, what you like, what you doing, and what acts that you take part in. I don't need to know any of that. And please don't share that with
Right.
me at any point. I know we're very close because I'm very close with all my kids, both male and female. But daddy don't need to know that about you. I ain't trying to know that about you. And to hear
There's
her go
certain
into how she would, that was I went off. I got told that I need to know how to mind my business. First of all, bitch, that's my niece.
Right.
I understand she's your daughter, but as a man, and me knowing what type of family we come from and how we was raised, why would you even want to have that conversation with your 14? First of all, she's 20, she's 14. Why would you even want to have that conversation with her?
Because these
Oh, I
new
was
age
called
parents
everything
think their
but
kids are
my
their
but on the
friends.
rocks.
That's
And
why,
that's what
because
because
she
there
this
is
do.
new
And,
age
and you're
generation,
absolutely right. She
they
treat her like
friends.
she's a friend of hers.
Yeah,
because
they
there's
their
because
friends.
there's
They're
no
not
longer
parents.
any boundary.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Where is the boundary? There you go, bro.
Yeah.
Say it again. Where is the boundary between parent and friend? You can have a friendly relationship with your children, yes, but not a friendship with your children. There's a difference in
Yeah.
having a friendly relationship and a friendship. We are not friends. You are not my equal. You do not stand toe to toe with me. You haven't lived the life I have, and the only thing you know is everything I taught you. And just because I taught you everything you know, don't mean I taught you everything I know. So you will never be able to stand on my ground. Stay in your place where I put you.
And we
And
got
that's the
rid of
only
the
place you
village.
are to be.
And we got rid of the village. There was a time, you remember when we was kids and our parents was kids, where the neighbors could whoop your butt. Now you say
Oh,
something
yeah,
to
I got
somebody's
that.
kid,
I
don't
got
say nothing
comments
to
like
my
that.
kid. Don't
Anti-baby
talk to my
parent.
kid. That's my kid. You can't tell my kid what to do, and your kid running around whooping your ass in the house. Now we got kids unaliving the entire house because they
Say it
got
again.
attitude problems and anger management issues because ain't nobody took their foot
Uh-huh.
and put
Well,
it
But
y'all
this is
know
dead. You know
I'm a
where.
strong one on that village raise a kid. You know, that's my pet peeve right there. That we have that out of our family structure is that village raise a kid. Because had we had village raise a kid, we wouldn't be
Yeah.
constantly seeing mothers dying by the hands of grown ass men constantly and killing their children. If we still
Yeah.
had a village raise a kid, because Miss Rose would have told Tatiana go sit a little fast ass down before she go tell her
Sure
mom and
woulda.
dad. Okay, because Miss Rose watching
Yeah.
everything going on the street. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
if we still had a village raise a kid, we wouldn't have a lot of these unalivings that we are having. We wouldn't have a lot of these mothers beating and killing their kids and leaving their kids at home by themselves for 4 and 5 years because it was always somebody around to be nosy and to know what is going on. Okay,
Say
how
it
about that?
again.
Because
see,
at
but
the
this is
end
the
of the
Say
thing.
day,
it
if you
again.
don't have no type of discipline or structure with your children, they're going to lead astray. The prodigal son and daughter. Think about that. Now they have lost their way with these kids. The same mama talking to my son, don't say nothing to my son, and your same son on the bus calling the elder a bitch and a hoe. That's that same son that's locked up in juvenile and been spending the rest of their life in prison. How about
Yeah.
that one? Where's all of those quirks at when they end up in prison? Because they no guns in prison. Then what's gonna happen? You end up being somebody's wife or trying to pump up your muscles to try to stay alive. How about that one?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, but this is the thing though, and I totally agree with you. That point stands out on what you said as far as the village is concerned. In a real village, everybody has a role and everybody plays their part. On the rug, the reason why we
Yeah.
have the problem that we're having with the youth in this day and this era because people are opting out. Little Johnny be like, "Get out of my face, bitch!" It's not a whooping. It's not a no correction. It's funny. It's
Right.
cute.
You better
Why
say
is
it,
the
progressive. They
granddad
really think that
move?
stuff is funny.
People
Ain't shit
people are
funny about
opting
that.
out. People are opting out. So and so threw a rock through somebody's window. Ah, oh, okay. I'll talk to him. Talk to him. Talk
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
To
Boy,
this day,
Parents stop being
to this
parents.
day, because of the standard that was set by my parents, I feel weird not sitting at the table and eat. I feel like they're gonna come around the corner
Yeah.
Exactly.
because
come
Another thing
on.
you do
about
your
that family structure, people don't even sit at the table and
Okay,
eat with
what
their
is that in front of
family no
me?
more. People do not eat with their
Um,
family no more. What happened to that? Everybody want to go in the room and eat their food. Ain't nobody sitting at the table no more and praying over their food and asking Johnny and Joe what happened at school today. What did you learn today? Ain't nobody sitting at the table and eating a dinner no more. That's part of
and that's
family.
and that's and that's why people are surprised and families amongst all across our culture is surprised when somebody pop up pregnant, when somebody pop up in prison because they did not take the time like we used to and to hold conversations or even to sit down, even though I'm not a big fan of
don't none
what's
of
on
y'all be
television these days,
laughing.
but to find some quality on television and to be able to have a real light discussion. It's not happening anymore.
And we're not paying attention to our kids because how can you explain to
No.
me that your 16-year-old and your 15-year-old was able to go around the corner and have a whole shootout with the gang up the street and you didn't realize your 15 and 16-year-old
Hello,
had
how are you?
access to a gun?
Thank you.
How is your
Appreciate you.
child able to go and shoot up a whole school and you didn't know that your child had all this
Right.
ammunition? It's because us as parents, our generation, our generation, I'm 48. Our generation has to take responsibility for the lack of parenting that we did for these little miscreants that's running around here because we was the problem. A lot of us wanted to be in the club. A lot of us still wanted to relive our
Right.
youth. And then social media came out and social media let you know, look, you
Right.
ain't got to be in no club. You ain't got to do all this to get famous. All you got to do is do some videos. So now here go all the people who feel like they were lost being able to live their youth. Now I get another opportunity. So now I really don't want to be a parent. I want a TikTok. I want an Instagram. I want to be an Instagram model. I ain't never seen so many women, mothers, and kids on Pornhub and on OnlyFans in all my life. It's because it's all about getting to
Yep.
the bag. There's no standards. There's no morals. We are such a moralist, ethicless generation and culture. Right now, anything goes. It don't even matter. They screwing dogs. They
And
screwing
it's
cats.
almost
They
like
screwing sheep.
it was designed to be that way. Like all of these things that these young people take part in, all these different reality shows, all these different social media platforms, and the things that they allow you to do on these platforms. And this is where it strikes me with certain platforms like Instagram and X, that was formerly known as Twitter. You couldn't post this type of stuff. You instantly got struck. They took your account down. You made another one. They was deleting it. Now it's almost like they promote you to put yourself up there naked. You
Right.
couldn't even put yourself on Instagram like that. You couldn't do none of this stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, but money, sex sells. Money
Yeah.
talks, BS walks. Oh, well, we got to get up to the times because then they started losing people. I don't want to be on the platform. And that's messed up to say I don't want to be on Instagram if I can't be naked on there. I don't want to be on Facebook if I can't show my body. I don't want to be. And this is why they're making it privy for them to be able to do it. So they won't lose their memberships. They won't lose their accounts. Lose them as a member to their platform. They get money. We don't get anything for joining for free,
Yeah.
but they get every dime for it. So I
Every
don't want to
picture
lose you.
you
So
see, they got their booty
yeah,
turned around. You gotta show your ass in every picture. So
yeah,
we've reached a level as women where our most important asset is our ass. It's not your intellect. It's not how smart you are. Matter of fact, it's not even about building an empire, because what the new age parents tell their daughters is all you got to do is just go get a man with money, and not realizing that man with money is another diddy, is another abuser. It's gonna have you turning tricks in order to get the money that they giving to you. But the mama is basically telling you to sell your soul for the bag. So now we got a whole bunch
Like
of
I've always
broken
told
girls.
females, you absolutely right. And I tell females all the time, because how you know me, Empress, I'm a feminist. I'm not a chauvinist in any type of way, and I don't like women being done wrong in any kind of way. And I tell a woman when she talking about going to find a man with money, here's this: find a man with money, but have your own in the midst. Because
Yep.
finding a man with money is the cousin to finding you a pimp, because that's what you finna be, his hoe. Because everything you
Yep.
need from him, you gonna work for it. That mouth gonna work for it, that cat gonna work for it, and that mistreatment that he give you gonna work for it. No, have your own. There's nothing wrong with
Yep.
being a stand-fast woman. You can have a man with money. He's supposed to be that. That's what he's supposed to be. Everything you need him to be and more. But always be able to have your own. It's like what
Yep.
a man has. Just like
That's what
that.
we were talking.
Because remind yourself, man is in your name too. Whoa, just in front of it. Whoa, man.
Right.
Come on now. Have your
That's what
own,
we were
baby.
taught. Have your own, because if you got your own, can't nobody ever take it from you. That's why I believe in
I can't make you
relationships
my
where
puppet.
a man or a woman get together and they build together. All of
And
these
vice
women
versa,
running
because there
around,
are
no,
some
I want a
women out here
man
that
with
are just
money.
as cold-hearted as men.
Yeah. I want a man with money. I want a woman with money. How about you get with somebody that y'all can build an empire together? Because what you build together is harder to walk away from because you invested too much into it.
Oh no, go ahead
These
and take
people
her.
ain't
I'm
even
still
taking
getting
the
stuff.
time
Don't
to
make
get
her
to know
wait.
each other. You don't even know who you
Yeah.
dating, who you getting in a
Come
relationship with,
on now.
who you marrying. You don't even know. You only been together for 2.2 seconds minus 3. You just woke up one day, and like we said the other day, one of the biggest problems is women love with their between their legs. That's the problem. You let somebody pipe you down real good. Now you in love. I can't live without them. I need them. Y'all see each other as possessions, not partners. And that's why it's failing over and over again. You don't think with your head.
What's this one, Lord?
Everybody
I
thinking
can't see.
between their legs. And all we doing is producing a bunch of dysfunctional kids running around here who's going to just repeat the cycle. All of this is nothing but repeated cycles because nobody took the time to break the cycle in the beginning.
No,
Nobody.
hold on. I just got one thing I want to say. I just got one thing. When
Okay.
did it become cool to be called a bitch? And the reason why I say this is because, yeah, when we were growing up, if you said the word bitch, we fighting. Let's go beyond this. Let's go to the fact that it used to be a time where rappers didn't call us bitches in their rap songs. But when they start calling us bitch, they started getting more clout, more fame. So it was more up to dehumanize a woman as a bitch. Because when you look up the word bitch, it is an animal that has 4 legs. A female who would label her own son or her own father. So why is it that when I go places or my kids, why do they chill with their homegirls and be like, bitch, let me have some of your macaroni? Is that your phone ringing?
Right.
Who wants to sit up and be called a bitch all day? I tell anybody, I don't play like that. Cause I'm not no bitch. I ain't
No,
nowhere in the
no,
world I'm finna sit up and call,
no.
you ain't doing nothing but speaking negativity every time you say that word because that is an animal. You wanna be an animal? I don't get that. I really don't. When
Right.
is it okay that this
Right.
can just happen? And then you want to turn around and ask a man for respect. But in front of your man, you playing with your homegirl, talking about, bitch, let me wear your socks. Bitch, let me wear that shirt tonight. I don't understand that.
Because we are a culture that is turned on and we act and react based on the industry and what's going on in the industry and what's popular in the
Yep.
industry. When the
And the industry
industry,
ain't giving
be it
you
It
no
is.
movies,
money,
be
ain't
it
doing nothing
music,
for
be it
you.
end of it, when the industry made it okay because all of the songs start saying bitch this and bitch that and my bitch this and my bitch that, what
You
happens
know,
is music and
and
movies
it took a long
desensitizes
time.
us to a lot of stuff that's going on.
Yep.
We're desensitized to rape.
It,
Why?
you ain't
Because
lying.
they talk about it in the music and they make it okay in the music. We desensitized to abuse. Why? Because they talk about it in the music and they make it okay in the music. We're desensitized to being called a bitch and a MF and the threats and all of this because in the music that everybody loves in this day and age, it's glamorized. Y'all heard Throw Baby.
And what's crazy
How
about
in the
that,
hell
Empress,
can you pull a
piggybacking
girl
off
with
of
Throw
what you
Baby?
said, it started in the 80s with Too Short. Too Short was the first rapper
Yeah,
to get to
that's
calling
right.
bitches, women bitches, and all this and that. And it was just this thing to do. It almost made me hate rap music. You know, like you said, Empress, I'm 48. You know what I'm saying? So growing up with like the Sugar Hill Gang and when rap was like that and cool and slick wordplay and stuff like that and was fun music. When the 80s came, Too Short turned all that around.
Yeah.
Bitch, and
And
oh,
then had
that
to
used to
turn around
irritate
and
me.
get on national
God, that
TV
used
and
to irritate me.
apologize for
See,
it. He had to
but this is
apologize for that. But it was too late. You done already made the money off of it. You let
Yep.
you led it to where all these other rappers, the first thing they call a woman in a song is a bitch. And then you got females in the club twerking off of a man calling you a bitch. Like try to put
And
that together
then,
and see how that looks.
and that's when they felt it was okay to start doing it. Now almost every last one of their songs is something bitch. I'm the baddest bitch. I'm this bitch. I'm a boss bitch. I'm this. No,
I'm a
you
queen
just a
bitch.
dumb
I'm
bitch. That's
queen
what you
bitch.
need to start calling yourself.
Y'all just don't even know what y'all be
No, that's
saying.
what you'll need to be saying. Because when they're talking about you a queen, you think a queen would carry herself like that? And guess what? You can say you a queen, but the queen of what, honey? The queen of slutness, the queen of trashy, the queen of slutballs. What are you the queen of? Because you can't tell me you're a prominent queen. Nobody of prominence will carry themselves in a manner that of. And I'm so sorry. I don't down women that want to do this. I just feel bad for you. Like I need you to find some type of love for yourself, some form of care for yourself. That's not beautiful. That is not a good thing. Like you, I don't know when did the
see, this
value
is the thing though.
of for
This
women,
is
I
this is
won't
the
say
thing
of
though.
women, because you never
Not
lost your value. When did you forget you had it? You are a
Come on
I'll
woman.
in,
give you
Mr. Progressive.
I'll give you
Come
that in the
on
'80s when they had the whole boom as far as Too Short is concerned. But even with that, and to add to that, there was an era where Queen Latifah basically warned us on what it was. She made a whole statement about you and ITY. Our unity
in.
stopped. That's when we
Come on,
started
Queen
falling short.
Latifah.
She hold paused and said, "Who you calling the bitch?" Because
Yep,
first of all, you can't be
that was
talking to
my
me.
mother's favorite song. To this day, my mama love that song by Queen Latifah.
Mm-hmm. That's right,
That was my
Progressive.
favorite line of the
He
song.
calling a
I hit
bitch.
some fly. I turned around and punched him dead in the eye. Who you calling a bitch? That was my favorite line of that. Turn around and knock his ass out. Don't let him get away with calling you.
See, we come
Facts.
from an
Because what
era.
he
We come
basically
from an
letting
era
you
where
know
New
is he don't care
Edition
about
and all of them was singing and loving on a woman. I wanna go outside in the rain. Now
you.
all
Don't
of a
do
sudden
it.
these
Don't,
motherfuckers
don't make
talking
us
about being a bitch
don't
on
make
their
us
So
go
let
song.
down
I
you
don't
in on a
understand
don't make
secret.
us
that.
go down memory
Well,
lane
let
now. Don't make
everybody
us
that's
go down
listening
there.
in on a secret. It's those very type of songs, Empress. The reason why I got kids.
Yep.
Those were the songs
So
that made
yeah.
me see the value in a woman, although I'm a
Yes,
LGBTQ
I'm
man.
telling you, and it's at that point where we finna have to go back and listen to that to get our lives back together. Because some of these songs, these new rappers, they mumbling. You can't even hardly understand what they talking about, and everything is about jewelry, clothes, and fashion. Like what? What about
Mm-hmm.
what you? What about how you gonna keep them bills being paid even after the money? Cause see,
I said
whatever
that
God
in
has
a
given you,
previous
He will take it.
argument with a
Okay?
person. When a person
Yes, ain't
arguing
no
with you,
way.
and if they can't tell you one thing about them, and the only thing they can mention is their finance, that's the only thing they are. It's a shame that you didn't mention all the other things that you can tell me what you can buy. Baby, that's the problem.
You breaking up, Father Lot. I think we might have lost him. He might have went out. But
But on,
Niecy, don't
but
make
do
us
you
go
get what
back
I'm
down
saying?
a music memory lane because see the world wasn't like this when we was listening to maybe you've never been in love like I've been in love.
I've been in love, or maybe
And
you never
maybe
felt
you've
the
never
things that
felt
I felt.
things that I felt.
That's what I'm talking about. I just don't understand. Like it's like a lot of people have lost themselves. I get it. We all go through trials and tribulations, but sometimes you got to sit back and look at things and be like, there needs to be a change for real. These kids are
Yeah.
But this is
disrespecting elders on buses. They disrespecting them in the streets. They sitting up calling elders bees and hoes. Like, are you serious? That is an elder. And then a lot of y'all kids sit back and get on TikTok and get on all these sites talking about some how much you have disrespected your mother and your father. What? You don't live long doing that. Y'all don't know that. And you wonder why
I'm
bad stuff happening to you. Because you have
I'm
no type
glad you
of
brought up the argument. I'm glad you brought up the argument as far as music is concerned, because even with that, our music represented our culture. When you think about it,
Yeah.
James Brown went to the extreme to say this is a man's world, but it would not be what? Nothing without a
nothing
woman or
without
a
a
girl.
woman or a
Anything
girl.
So to,
without a good woman.
and then even when people had see it was a time when culture loved each other and our music showed it. Where if a man and a woman had an issue together, they ain't crying separate rooms. The OJ said we gonna cry together. Last night we
Right.
in
Oh, I
my
was
room.
just listening to
We
That's
that
what
the
cried
he
other day, boy.
said.
It's funny
together.
you mentioned that
That's
song.
right.
That's
That's
I
what
what
was
I
he
just listening to that
said.
the other day,
Well,
clean
sit
up.
yourself down, girl, and talk to me. Tell me what's on your mind.
hey,
They used to
Come
listen,
talk
on.
to each other.
neither one of us want to be the first to say goodbye. Don't play.
What?
Don't
What? What?
listen. Listen, neither one of us. We love so hard. I don't want to say goodbye, and you don't want to say goodbye. What we gonna do? Let's work it
Exactly.
out.
For sure. That's what I'm talking
Even when
about.
even when a man wanted to take a woman to be able to go into a room and with all of their might engage in some profound adult situation, they did it
Hit
in a
him with what
smooth
was that?
way.
Who was that? Was
He
that
said, he
Levert?
said, no, 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 no. I'm going back a little further than that. He said, lay your head on, not on my
What?
pillow, on
On
my
my
pillow.
pillow.
Have a good time.
Y'all better
That
stop
was
playing
good
on here.
And we
time.
don't
Y'all
sound
better
like
stop
some old
playing.
drunk ass folks sitting in the bar
He,
trying to
he,
remember
he
some
said,
songs.
he said, lay your warm and tender body close to mine. Oh my
That's
Come
right.
on.
That's
Hold
Oh,
on,
right.
hold
bro,
on.
what I was
This was
thinking
back
of,
in the
bro, when
day.
I said Levert, I was thinking about Four Seasons by Levert. If you were my woman and
Yes.
I was your man, I'd give you everything you desire.
Y'all
Hey,
better
y'all better
sing.
stop playing.
He don't treat you right. That was my
Right.
story.
no, if you gonna go there, bro, if you gonna go there and we gonna go to Bert, that man said, I don't want to give you just a little bit, I want to give you all of it.
Come
Better
on,
when I'm
bro. You
ready.
That's
better say
right.
it. You better
That's
say
You
it.
right.
hear me? I want to give you all of it. I ain't even gonna leave nothing behind. All of it is for you. They don't know nothing about that.
They don't know nothing
They
about
just
you.
gonna go
They
straight to
don't know
throwback. They
nothing
just gonna
about
go
that.
straight to acting out.
That is so crazy. That's what I'm saying. I
Hey,
miss
hey,
those days.
you remember when a man used to wine you and dine you? They wanted to take you out to paint the town red. You know, you just spent the whole night hanging out, having a good time. Then he would come back because now it's time for the romance to begin. So he say, "Turn off the lights,
Oh, life,
light a
life.
candle,
For
Come on,
sure.
Tay.
For
turn
sure, baby.
around."
Or
That's a
hold
romantic
on,
move,
y'all.
isn't it?
Or he'll sit up there and play, where did we go wrong? Now, won't you tell me what went wrong with
Come on,
love?
somebody tonight.
No, but see, even music back then had individuals fighting for their love. When
Hey,
nobody talking about some shoot nobody, stabbing nobody, you would sit
That's
in your
right.
room or be in your vehicle and you would hear about a man talking about a house is not a home, a chair is not a chair. How you make
come
a phone
on.
call? You said you weren't gonna make no more because you knew what it was. I gotta go get
That's
my bag.
right. That's right.
Now it's FKB. I can get another one. But you really can't get another one, especially in 2025. If you got a good one, you better hold on to it.
Hey, y'all
Exactly.
remember when Shy said, "If I ever fall in love again, I'll be sure that the lady is a friend."
Yeah,
See,
he said
back
he
then
gonna
you
be
wanted to fall
sure.
in love with a friend. He said he gonna make sure. See,
That was
that's
my
back
stuff
when
too.
music was music, when they was about wooing you, when it was
Exactly.
about love. This music now is just fighting and fucking music. That's all this music is now.
Yeah, it's most side piece music and telling you how to get you a wife and love her. It's so the divorce rate that shot
Come
up so
on.
goddamn high. Your husband be in the bed that night and then he said he going to get cigarettes and ain't never coming back no more. You hear
Coming back
me?
home.
Cause he done found sunshine. He ain't coming home no more.
That's when you get to singing, I'm catching hell.
Talking about calling Shirley.
But even with that though, we had safeguards in
That
that
was
in
so
our culture back then because it told you, it gave you a warning what would happen if you stepped outside of the boundaries. So it's like if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight.
Wait until
It
tonight.
made you think about it. That man said these skeletons will come out of the closet and chase you all around the room.
Not chase you around the room, because that's what he
Yeah,
said.
that's exactly what he said.
He said
I mean,
chase you
even
all
you know
around
what,
the room.
y'all, and even thinking of songs that came out in that time, even when the songs came out, and you had all of the the schooner groups and stuff like Boys to Men and men that empowered women and song about love
Yeah.
songs and stuff like that. You see how fast they faded out of the public eye because they were talking about true love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and always was trying to break
I
the band up.
loved me
Always
some
trying
Boys
to
to
break the
Men.
band up. You break
Hey,
that band up, they can't hear it no more.
hey, y'all
Okay.
remember when Whitney said, "I ain't trying to be a hoe, baby. I'm saving all my love for you."
I know that's right. I
We
know
don't,
that's
we don't know
right.
nothing about that music now. We don't know about that music
Exactly.
now. Because everybody want to sleep with this one. When I'm done with this one, I want to have that one. We act like each
Hmm.
other is
You know
candy
it. You
in a
know. You
candy
know.
jar.
That's the rap dudes came out and changed the LA. It ain't no
Yeah.
fun if the homies can't have. Why you said it ain't no
And
fun
then
if the
all
homies
of them
can't have
wasn't
none?
even
So
who
if
they
your homie
said
get
they
some,
was.
homie
They
man
done
when he
messed
get
our childhood up. What do you mean? Or everything they was talking about, they was fake as hell because they done messed everybody's childhood up after we done found
Mhm.
out that a lot of them songs ain't what we thought they were.
Yeah.
Kim, everybody used to be, ooh, I can't wait to go. Now we done seen what type of Hollywood and fucking fail, and our dumb asses looking stupid with our past because we fell for these songs thinking these celebrities was on this tip, and now look at our childhood. It's fucking destroyed. It
And
is.
half of them were singing to each other.
Hip
Don't
hop
make
ain't
that
hip
make
hop no more. I remember Run DMC and them one coming out with their pants hanging on up down their butt. They sung about my Adidas. It was always a meaning to the A, the D. It was always a mean. I don't understand how this turned into this, but now you see why. When y'all wanted to say that y'all kids ain't gotta be disciplined, y'all wanted to say y'all dressing better than y'all kids, y'all wanted to be out here saying fuck a father in the home. Now you see what the hell did happen. It's obvious. All you gotta do is turn YouTube, TikTok, and all Instagram, and turn all of these on and see what we going through today. It's this a 10-year-old little girl just killed her neighbor because her neighbor and her mama got into a fight. She went in the bag and shot the neighbor right in her face and said, I told you about hitting my mama. Are you serious? A 10-year-old who should have had her ass in the bed or playing with baby dolls somewhere, then shot somebody being in grown people business. So all of this stuff y'all fought for, oh, everybody should have their own opinion. And now look what the hell happened. This motherfucking world is falling in hell. And people are dying. Okay, all because of
Cool.
y'all let a system control who you are.
No, Krabby, baby, you got to see some of our stories that we be covering, baby. It go from bad to worse with these kids out here,
And
unaliving
welcome to the
parents,
chat,
parents
Krabby. Like,
unaliving
yeah,
kids, and all of
man.
that. It is crazy. This world is cooked, and we so focused on the left, we don't even see what. But you know what? When we stop and think back, because now we're older, we should have saw the change when we saw the shift in the music. When songs
Yeah.
like "It Don't Matter, Just Don't Bite It" came out, when songs like "I Take
Yeah,
a Hoe to a Hotel, to a Motel, to a
but
Holiday
but
Inn,"
they got us.
if
They
that
got
ain't
us
start
at the
fucking up our
It
impressionable
ain't no
stage till we
careers,
wasn't
fun
at
if the
that
homies can't
stage of
man,
have
mentality.
homie
none.
can't have
Actually,
none,
look
This is
bro.
for.
this
What?
is this is where I knew it was going bad. Now I seen it going bad before this point, but this is where I knew it was going bad. When that man came on TV and said it must be the ass because it ain't your face. I need a tip drill. I said, what
What?
are we
You
doing?
better say it.
What are we
You
doing?
better say
And
it.
swiping cars down booty? What are we doing? At that point, I'm like, okay, we out here.
No, because I got one that came out before that, baby. Y'all don't remember? Head
Yeah,
down, butt up.
yeah.
That's the way we like
Where
to
we like the
do the
oh yeah,
rap. Yeah, do
face
the
down,
rap.
hands
Yeah,
up.
come
That's the
on.
way we
We
Yeah,
like.
still
Blue
Pretty
came
much,
on. We should have known. We should have
came
known.
out there
pretty much.
with two.
That's what we
Now, now,
did.
now look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
and Mo
Because
did.
y'all can honestly say when we
Yeah,
had to be on that porch
unfortunately.
before the lights came on, when we had to be on that porch before the lights came on, you came in the house with your brother. Now, since all of this been going on, it's a free real world. You don't even know if your brother done got shot last night because he
About
ain't
Luke
came
and the
home,
Elder
and now you're
Brothers,
looking
Luke the
for him.
Candle, the
See, when you had to be in that house before those porch
Luke the
lights
Candle.
came on, you ain't have to worry about losing no family member. You hear me? Because the village made sure your
Don't
child
stop
was at
talking,
home.
Gucci. Let me see you doodle brown.
This,
I want to work. I want
that's
to work.
too crazy
I
to
used
me.
to
That's too
get the
crazy to me.
oh my God.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This
Because
is
I
crazy.
wouldn't have been in that house by the time that street light come on with our parents. Don't be on that porch when them street lights go out and
Say
see
it
what
again.
happens. See, the problem is you got a bunch of parents now that's scared of their kids. That's the problem. And
Yeah,
I
they're
refuse
trying to
my
be their
whole
kid
life to
friend.
be I refuse to be scared of anything that I went through hours of labors and contractions and all of that to push out. I wish the hell I would be scared of something that I birthed out. I wish I would. But no, all these parents is scared of their kids. They scared. Not only are they scared of their
Mhm.
kids, they scared of the police because the police done told you that you can't whip your kids. But your kid, 12, 13, 14, get in the street and disobey them. They got the right to put a nightstick up their damn ass and tase them and shoot them at 10, 11, 12. But you can't whip their ass. You ain't going to tell me what I can do in my house because ain't no minor that I gave birth to running something where I pay bills at. When
That's
parents
right.
started being scared of kids, that's when everything changed. Because how does a kid at 12, 13 years old get shot and killed at 2 damn o'clock in the morning when your ass should be at home? We gonna talk
Mm,
about it, baby. We gonna talk. Parents
that's
became
right.
lax. A lot of it. Now we not talking about some of them parents that just lost control because a lot of these kids are listening to the street. Not only are they listening to the street, but they're listening to other kids' parents who don't give a damn what their kids do. So now because your friend can do whatever they want to do, you feel like you can come back home and do it too. And now you got parents that were scared to say anything to them
And
because they're gonna go to jail for violating their rights.
so what?
Baby, you a minor. As long as I gotta
Been
take care of you, you ain't got no
that
right.
That's right.
Here's the further proof that the system and the world, for the most part, as we knew it, ceased to care. Remember what used to happen at 10 o'clock? A TV would go off.
That's right.
Literally, TV would shut
That's
off.
right.
And it would
a
end
lot of
before
them. It's
that.
their fault
But
that
just
they
imagine
even
it would
offset
say
of them.
it's 10 o'clock. Do
That's
you know
right.
where your children are?
That's right.
What happened to that? What
That's
happened to that?
right.
How about this whole TV? Y'all remember when the TV was shut off and played the national anthem
Yep. And
at a
your
certain
kids gonna
time
watch,
and
and
no
or the snow will come in on the TV. It be lines coming in on the TV
network?
at a certain time.
No network would come on. You couldn't watch ABC, NBC, CBS. What was the channel Sesame Street was? You couldn't watch none of that after a certain time. Radio station shut down, TV shut down. But see, that was a time when parents used to make kids go outside and play. Y'all remember that? Kids couldn't
Yeah.
stay inside all day on social media and on their phones and on game systems. No, you had to go outside and get some outside time. Mama would tell you, get your butt outside and play. We played hopscotch. We played double dutch. We met
Jack.
kids in the neighborhood. We played jacks.
Mhm.
Wasn't nobody gonna get hurt. You could fall asleep on your porch without worrying about getting robbed or one of y'all getting kidnapped off your porch in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
But here's the
Exactly.
thing: with all of those things that you just, matter of fact, the main point of going outside. Now, to this generation in this era, because of all the things that are going on in the world, of course, it's the thing that you cannot do. But they had the privilege to be able to do that for us, and what that did for us in our generation, it taught us how to be well-rounded individuals. Because we had to
Mhm.
stand on our own and make decisions, even at a young age, because we had no cell phone, we had no
That's right.
two-way. The best we
That's
had was a
right.
pager. We were able to
That's
get
right.
that. So we had to know how to make decisions. We also had to know how to communicate with other people because you already know in the era back in the day wasn't nobody tolerate no disrespect, especially for the neighborhood. So you gonna make sure you be respectful or get the brakes beat off of you by your peers.
And you had to say yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am.
Show the hell did.
You had to speak when you walk in the room. That's what, and talk your issue. That's
You
one of my
bet
pet
not
peeves.
speak when
I
you
be
walk
walking
in
in
the
the house
room.
and you ain't speaking to nobody, but you gonna look me in my face. Now, if I slap the shit out of you, then I'm wrong.
Exactly. Nowadays, these kids walk in your house and don't say nothing and go in your refrigerator. Okay?
But how about go in their room? One of my pet peeves was if one of my kids got mad and slammed the door, baby, it would make my blood boil. It would literally make my blood itch. When one of my kids would get mad and slam the door, I'll take this whole damn thing off the hinges. Don't play with me. Don't slam no damn door in no house that I pay rent in. Matter of fact, open the door because what you got to slam for anyway? Now all of a sudden kids got locks on doors. Mom, stay out of my room. Get this is my space. What the hell you mean your space? You don't pay rent?
Fuck you, mom. Fuck you, mom. Close
Yeah.
the door, mom. What type of shit
You,
is that?
you know damn well if we would have said F you to one of our parents, we'd still be gathering teeth out the baseboards of the living room as we speak right now.
Exactly. It's the
Because we want to
disrespect.
be disrespectful.
we have a dark cloud over our Melanite people. We really do. Because there was never a time when I was growing up that we constantly was reading in the newspaper. See, we used to read back then, before, people just got to go on the web and you just, no, we read books before in the newspaper. We never was always in the paper hearing about a woman killing her kids. Now, you will hear from not here and there and people, but as far as it constantly happening, when do you just wake up and just kill your baby and say, fuck this kid? When?
Right. Right, Krabby. If we locked the door, Mama was gonna break it down. Daddy too,
That's
take it off
right.
the keys. You wouldn't have no door.
Right.
What you mean a locked door in house? How is it you don't know what's going on with your kids? I just don't understand this. But here I do. I do. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I do. I know exactly what went on. The problem was, see, when little Nuck Nuck and them came in the house with money. See, our generation of parents, you couldn't come in the house with clothes on, with no money, with no hat, with no shoes that mama or daddy did not buy for you. Mama and daddy was gonna ask you, where you get that pair of
Where
shoes
you
from?
get that from?
Yeah.
Where
Yep.
you get them clothes from?
Take
I
Where
got
they
it
that
from
back.
come
my
from?
friend. Take it back. Take it back. And my mama will
Take
look
it
at us
back.
and tell us, you don't know where they got that from. What if they stole it? And now you sitting with the stolen evidence. And when the police come looking for somebody, they going to come looking for you because you the one with it. And you ain't going to be able to prove that you not the one that stole it. See, that's the way
Yeah.
our parents used to talk to us.
My mother was up to them.
Exactly.
It was not so much as just that you don't know where they got it from. Is you didn't know if they were clean or not. You don't know if they washed their butts. You don't know none. Take it back and don't wear none that don't belong to you. That's
Nothing.
what that's what Mama was at
Exactly.
with.
Exactly. I'm
Nothing.
just, I'm
They
just
kept us
wondering
safe.
how many. I'm just wondering how many times these people keep watching the first 48 and they see these little babies talking to these police officers and they get their rights read to them. You have the right to remain silent and you
And
still
don't
sit
shut up.
up there and tell everything that you and Nook Nook did, and then you and your mama want to be crying at the end like, baby, it's going to be all right. How
It's
many
funny you
times
said
do we
Nook
have to
Nook.
Generation
see
really
that?
ain't about that life.
I have a
This
nephew
generation
named
ain't
Nook
about that
Nook.
life. Not a
I'm so
nephew named
tired
Nook.
of people not having. So you didn't have no plan. You ain't.
Go ahead, Niecy. I think her phone went out. Yeah, they ain't had no plan. That's because this generation ain't about that life for real. They
No,
think they are. That's why they run in groups. That's why they do what they do in groups because they really not about that life. When we was younger and they had gangs, number one, when we was younger, and I'm not saying I'm advocating for drugs, but when we was
no.
younger, we had drug dealers. They wasn't flashy. They was walking around with $25,000 or more in their pocket, and they
Yep,
look like your everyday Joe, or they
yep.
look like bum. They drove around in hoopties because I know what I got. I ain't gotta prove it to you. This
I learned
generation
that
want to prove
from
everything.
I learned that from them. The less you think I have, the less you will ask me for.
The less you, the less you'll try to come to me to try to steal.
Yeah,
But see,
that's
this generation, they play hard. Back in the day, how many times did you hear a gangster going after somebody to shoot them, and they done shot everybody except the person they was aiming for?
right.
Exactly.
That didn't happen back in the
Exactly.
day. If
Make this
somebody got
make
laid
sense.
down back in the day, it was personal. They laid down the person they was looking at. Nowadays, the kid get hit, the mama get hit, the daddy get hit, the cousin get hit, the neighbor get hit, the person across the street get hit, and the person you
Yeah.
was aiming for is still walking around alive,
I
untouched.
agree. I agree.
But again, you're talking about two different caliber of people. Because back
Yeah,
then, and of
yeah.
course, what I'm not advocating for violence, but when people had a situation, they took it directly to the individual. They literally walked you
Right. You
down.
only took
They're
it out
not
on
they
you
not
when
10
you
blocks
had a
away trying to gun you
problem.
down. If I got a problem with you, I'm bringing it to you. I ain't got nothing to do with your grandma or anybody else. My beef is with you.
That is one of
But
my biggest pet peeves, big bro, that irritates the world out of me. And especially going to that the statement, hurt people, hurt people. That's Why do they never hurt the people that hurt them? They hurt everybody but the
That
one
part.
somebody that did what they did to them. That's my biggest pet peeve. Just piggybacking off of what you said. Gangsters and people I grew up with and not advocating for violence as well. Just wanted to put that out there. I'm not advocating for violence as well. But that's just what it was. I'm not after nobody that did no harm to me. I'm after the very somebody. The reason why I got this issue. I don't need to come after your brothers. I'm not trying to hurt your children to try to get you to come out of hiding. They did me no harm. And I'm not that heartless. I only want what I have a problem with. And that just don't radiate in this world today. It's just like it's almost like I just want to go out there with anybody that I can get to, and that's not how you handle shit, man.
Well, young Dolph was right. Real gangsters don't talk; they do sit back and listen. And when I was growing up, these gangsters ain't shoot the women and the children. They didn't
No,
play
the
that.
women and children was off limits. You right. You
Off
absolutely
limits.
right.
Off limits. But you know what the problem is? The women decided they wanted to be gangsters too. So they decided
Yeah,
these little girls feel like they want to get in the game too. So this goes back to what we said. It's all a sick cycle. When we were talking about the
Yeah,
whole thing about
yeah.
when did bitch become popular and okay, it's because we became desensitized to it through the music, through the movies, through what we see on TV. Now you have a generation of young girls through the music, through what they see on TV, not realizing that half of them people not even living them lives for real.
Or whatever
But
contributed
now
to
you
it.
want to run out
You
here and be a gangster. So the dudes out here saying, okay, you want to run with the street. Now you got to be subject to the same rules of the street.
You know what? I
that's
think
right.
that was. I think it
That's
was meant to
right.
be. I think it was meant to be that way. Like it was almost egged on to be that way. Because of course, with women and children being off limits, but if we can get them to want to be a part of the game, that adds them to it and it makes them fair game. You a part of the gangster world too. So now you can't holler, I'm a female. Now you're in this with us, and it's almost like they wanted to egg it. So now you have an excuse to hurt a female and her babies. That's just what that was, man.
Right.
You can't make me see it no other way. Because me
See, but
growing up,
that's
like I don't down anybody who want to be a part of that lifestyle. The street lifestyle was never for me because of the men in my life that told me what they told me and made me feel like it just wasn't anything that I needed to make a part of me. It was beneath me. Because if I say I'm a man and I am a strong man and I stand 10 toes as a man and I can defend, protect, and make sure that I'm okay as a man, why am I at all needing to join a group of men in hopes that they will come help me when I'm in need to defend myself? Then why would I say I'm a man? I need to be a woman. Because if I need to call some men to come defend me, I'm not a man. I think I need to be able to protect myself at all costs, at all times, without the help of anybody. If I say I am a man who can stand on his own, that irritates me so bad when I hear a man crying and yelling and bitching about another man, then come help him fight a man. When did you become a woman when he swung on you? When did you become a woman? That irritates me.
this is the thing, and I go back to the same point. At some point in time, and everybody's basically saying like in so many words the same thing. The system changed, even
Yeah.
on the whole aspect as far
Mm.
as gangs is concerned. So what gangs is these days is individuals who are looking to gang up in order to be able to terrorize
Thank
individuals.
you.
But I remember
Thank
seeing
you.
uncles and other individuals who were literally going to meetings and trying to
Case in
figure out how to
point.
feed kids in the neighborhood, and they're part of gang
Case in point. I see
and
your
call
point.
themselves a gang.
You're right. You
But
absolutely
somewhere
right.
in the system it changed.
Because there's a difference in an organization and a gang. You absolutely right. I get your point. You're right. You're right.
And it changed because at one point, gangs were about family.
Thank you. It had a
It was
different
about
point.
it was about these young men who didn't have stable households, didn't have stable homes to look after them. And yeah, they sold drugs or whatever. And I'm
And
not
they took
advocating
care of the
for
neighborhood.
drugs, not
They was
advocating for
right.
that. but they took care of their neighborhood.
Thank
They didn't
you.
want
That's
you to
right.
have to go outside of the
They look
neighborhood,
out for the
so they
hood.
looked out for their own. If there was a mother in the neighborhood who couldn't feed their kids, guess what they did? If there was a mother in the neighborhood that was getting abused by her dude, guess what the gang did? The gang was a family. But when
Yeah.
this young generation of undisciplined
Thank you.
individuals who have never been told no, who have never been held accountable for nothing, who ain't never had their daddy walk up to them and say, scream or cuss at your mama again, and you gonna be picking yourself up off the floor if you
What?
ain't never had that.
Right.
See,
And
Say
so this
shout
is
what?
the
out to
thing.
you, bro,
So
for making that
we don't even
point.
have to keep going into the aspect uh, of putting out the disclaimer. I'll just say this: even outside of games, you had a group called the Black Panther Party
I remember that.
that
Yes.
policed its own neighborhood, that provided meal programs, that also let us know that we have the right to bear arms too and to protect ourselves.
Yep.
That's
But
right.
once that system was removed, now you got a bunch of people all fighting for themselves and fighting for their own without understanding the world makes us one size fit all. If
Yeah.
if I put 10 black people in one room and somebody outside of the culture is speaking in, they're going to see 9 times out of 10 for the large majority a group of black people.
Yep.
They ain't seeing no colored hair, they ain't seeing no different outfits. It's black people in there.
Yep.
I want
But
to
those
piggyback
same
off the
black people
progressives
had
with the
something to
Black
be able
Panther
to protect
Party.
itself, which was, like I said,
Hmm.
entities like the Black Panther Party that made black beautiful, that made standing up for black excellence
Hmm.
a thing to do. That they're doing the same thing that they did then and making us destroy ourselves from the inside out with all of this reality TV, with all of this uh, butt
I agree.
implants and being over
I agree.
sexualized.
I agree.
Back in the day, women didn't have no BBLs. They had what they had, but it was beautiful. You alone didn't have no
Hmm.
BBL.
Because for one, we had
Music,
men
they didn't have no BBL.
that appreciated their women for who they were and what they had, and not tried to change anything about them. And we had women that appreciated their men and the value of the man he was instead of what he had on the outside or his physique or his sexual ability and all. And that's where that stems from. Actually, that's where that stems from. We didn't have that growing up. We watched people show love to each other. They didn't give it, they didn't care. We figure a full figure woman was sexy. This is why when I see a man and he looking at a woman and she full figured and mommy voluptuous got her stuff on and that's a little bit too. Boy, what is you talking about?
Go back and think about it. Even when you look at our old TV shows, right? Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah.
These old TV shows, the mama and daddy didn't even sleep in the same bed and they was
No,
married. Do you know
they was in
why?
the same room,
Because
but they
they
had
knew
separate beds.
kids were
We're
going to
watching the
watch these
show.
television
It was a
shows
family
and
oriented show.
they didn't want to subject them to being overly sexualized. So even married couple, you didn't see no tongue when we
Uh-uh.
was growing up watching TV. It was a peck on the cheek, on the lips. It was almost a church hug on
Just
TV.
like just like the Cosby Show. Even though Cliff and Claire slept in the same bed, she would peck him. They didn't touch. She would give him a peck on the lip, and he would turn in a separate direction, and she would. Or some nights he'd cuddle her. But that was as far as it would go. It would be very tasteful and very family oriented, which you would expect a mom and dad, a normal, well-rounded, respectful mom and dad to do. All right, hon, good night. I know you got to get up. I got to get up. See you in the morning. And it was very tasteful, even though they were still in the same bed.
Now,
Just
even with that,
thinking,
with the aspect,
yeah, it just wasn't no.
with the
Yeah.
aspect of the Huxtables, there were some parts because I am a Cosby Show connoisseur to this day. Well, if I'm having a bad day, I will literally put on the Cosby Show. But there's an episode where Claire and Heathcliff are sitting on the couch, and Claire puts her feet up in his lap, and he rubs her feet, and it's a very flirtatious moment, but it's so tasteful, and it's
When she
celebrated to this
listened,
day
I
the
remember
beauty.
that.
of
episode. Is
black
that the
love and
episode when she
excellence.
singing Candy to him and she put his candy
Yeah,
between her toes?
yeah,
I'll never
yeah.
forget that episode. I was so drawn to it because of the tastefulness of it, bro. That's how I know what you're talking about.
We even had shows like Living Single.
Oh my God.
Living Single. We had shows like, you remember It's a Different World from where we came from. They
Oh
got
my God. The
into
spin-off from the
college
Cosby
life.
Show.
It was all tasteful.
I'm gonna take you one further. Even we had shows demonstrated before us that if we even had a disagreement, we could do it in a way where we could still be in the same room together. I'll give you a prime example. Anybody remember Archie Bunker? Remember when
Oh
George
my,
Jefferson
one of
visited
my
Archie
favorite
Bunker?
shows.
Hey, but you got to remember, that's the day and age before we had cancel culture.
You talking about Archie Bunker, the lady and his wife that sung at the piano, and
You
that's
talking
when
Yes,
about
Florida
Edith?
Evans was the maid, and that's when
Edith.
she got her show
Yeah.
on Good Man.
yes. And he was an ultra
And
racist. And I bet you there
yes, he was
probably wasn't a
racist.
black family that did not watch Archie Bunker. And we
Yeah,
knew he didn't like black folk. You know
But
why? Because we wasn't so sensitive back then.
and not only
yeah.
that, you know what it was? We were the way the way we view racists opposed to the way this day and age view racists. We see them as the idiots they were. So, and for Carol O'Connor to play that role and knowing that he was the polar opposite of who Archie Bunker really was, for him to play that role and make Archie the most idiot, phone, racist, stupid, I mean, absolute idiot. It made him so funny. You saw his racism, but he was so stupid to you, you
He
couldn't do
still
nothing but
was
laugh it off.
funny. He still was funny, and that was his racist
Right?
ass.
You
That's
couldn't
just
do
who
nothing but
Archie
laugh it off. He
was.
was so stupid.
But he did what he had to do for the time, and he painted a very vivid picture of
But
a bold ignorance that existed
we
in the
have to
world in which he
separate.
lived. But he also came back and made a major statement a number of years later and let you know what it really was when he was with that woman on the heat of the night. Because there was
Oh
no
my,
regular pimp,
Mhm.
oh, I
and she
love
definitely was of the culture.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Ain't
But
nobody cares.
the reason why I accept Archie Bunker for the character he was as a racist white man, because I accept George Jefferson because he was racist too. I mean, a racist is a racist, and it
And
almost
he
made it seem
was,
like
Absolutely.
and he
and it
was.
almost made it seem like people downed Archie for being a racist, but accept George for being one because he was black like us. And it's like, no, he said some off the wall monkey ball. Calling people hunkies ain't right either. Just like calling people niggas ain't right, jigaboos and all this and that. But you accepted it because Archie was the idiot and George was the reason for us to get at the idiot.
And
And
then they did the crossover
right, that's
episode
what
where
I
they
said.
brought
They
them
could
both
put them in
together.
the same show.
Yep,
Oh
they brought them all
my God.
together. Sure did. Sure did.
Because at some point,
Especially when they put them in the same house when Archie went over to George's party and he called George Mama Mammy. George, don't talk to your mammy like that. Mama Jefferson turned around. Who you calling mammy?
I'll even go one further. Even when you look at the movie The Godfather, black people love us some doggone Godfather. They
And
was
knowing that
like
they
black people
call us moolies in a minute.
in 2.2
Yeah,
seconds. But it ain't too many people that don't like The Godfather. You can't
that's
tell us,
right.
me included, that it wasn't one of the cold. It was a different time where we were not as sensitive. We could talk about race issues
And
without
it
blowing
didn't
off the
bring off
handle
the
and
issue.
everybody looking at everybody else as the enemy. I don't agree with it coming from it sounds just as ignorant when we say dumb stuff toward white people as it sounds when white people say it toward us. It's no different. It's no exception for us.
And
And
I'm gonna
that's
tell
one of
you
the
why
things
that
that I
is.
stop and think about because I'm like, I stop and think, y'all remember when we covered that show Cracker? where they did the flip where the black people were the slave owners. I'm gonna run that back one night. Where the black people were the slave owners and the white people were the slaves. I said I would have to believe that us as a culture that was really built on love before we got stripped away and our families got broken up, that if we had the opportunity for the tables to turn and us to be in the position of the slave owner, that we would not do them the way they did us because we are not the same. And if we say, if given the opportunity to be slave owners, we would do the same thing to them that they did to us,
Not at
then
all.
why are we even arguing with
Not at
them?
all.
Because that makes us no different.
Because well, we wouldn't have done that, and that just says, that speaks for itself. When the slaves were freed, when Abraham Lincoln freed us, what could keep us from hurting them? We were free. You don't own me. Now I can do to you whatever I want to, and when have we ever? So
We
you're
were
right.
focused on building our own.
We don't come from that. See, and just like going back to one of your productions about the ginger people, when he said, I lived around African American communities all of my life, and to receive love that strong, they have a deep relationship with love. I don't understand how they love is so strong, that black love, the love they have is so strong like that.
Well, I'm
And
just gonna say you can't invite everybody to the barbecue. I'm getting tired of everybody getting a pass to come to the barbecue. Everybody ain't invited, okay, ma'am? That's just my opinion.
now see,
Everybody ain't invited. Quit giving everybody a pass just because they did a little jig in their foot or their leg, did the stank leg different from you. Everybody ain't invited to the barbecue.
Now,
well,
you know what? I
I
understand some people feel that way. I'm the type of person where I don't want to be anywhere where it's all black. That's just me. I like multicultural. I want to see some white people. I want to see some black people. I want to see some
that's what
Hispanic
I said.
people. I
I
want to see some
invite
Chinese
everybody to
people.
the
I want to
barbecue
learn from
to get
your
a better
culture. I
understanding.
want
Yeah,
to,
to get a
matter of
better
fact, I want some
understanding.
of your food at the barbecue. I want some shrimp fried rice. Damn it! I want some curry chicken and goat at the barbecue because I'm the type of person where I'm about unity. I have been around
But
division
people
for
don't want to
so long.
unify no more. People ain't about no
Yeah.
unity no more. They're not.
But it has to start somewhere. And that's if everybody walks around thinking that these people over here don't want to unify, so I'ma stay divided. Them over there don't want to unify, so I'ma stay divided. Then we
Well, I'm
always
just
gonna
gonna
have division.
survive. I'm tired of it. This stuff been going on for too many decades, the back and the forth, the back and the forth. Maybe have we ever thought that we should just do that? Maybe we need to separate.
No, I can't do that. Separate with who? The YNs? Is that who gonna protect us?
I'm
They
talking
can't
about
protect
I'm
themselves.
talking about if you ain't on no platform, I'm talking about with everybody. Maybe it need to be a group of these people who want to move forward. And here's this group of the ratchet people that want to do their thing. Here's this group
Okay,
on the
I
YN.
get
Yeah, I
what you're
see
Maybe
what you're
saying.
people
I
need
saying.
get
to
what
go
you're
their
saying.
Yeah,
I
own
get what you're
way.
saying. Like separating
I see what
yourself from
you're
the
saying.
people who wish
Yes,
to move
that's. I
forward,
mean, because
from those who
everything
want
ain't
things
for
to stay the same. Okay,
everybody.
I get it.
It's not.
See,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
tiresome. It is tiresome, and you do get tired
Yeah, I'm
because,
sick and tired of it. We've been talking about this shit forever. I'm about to be 50 years old and we still talking about this.
and the reason why that is because we gonna have to just come into terms with
Somebody got
some
music on.
people.
Oh no, that's my music. Never mind.
Turn that
We have
damn
to,
TV
you know
down. I
what
mean,
it
my
is?
bad.
We
Let me
just
go
have
back
to come
on.
into terms with that just people who just want to be this way. Okay, for instance, you are who you are, and you love the person that you are, just like I am who I am, and I love the person that I am. Despite the negative connotation that comes with a person like that, and the disdain that we have for a person like that, they have every right to be that person. And what changes they wish not to take part in or make about themselves, or what education about different cultures of people they wish not to learn, they have every right to do that. And this is where causes the problem, because it's not just one person, it's a multitude of persons. Just like we feel the way we feel, there's a multitude of people who feel the opposite of the way we feel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It's just we're gonna just have to accept that they're never gonna feel the way we feel. You know, I'm the
And sometimes
better.
people need to stop back and step back and listen and think about what they say. I hear a lot of people saying that black people need to just separate and be with black people. Okay, I get it. I get where you coming from, but how do you differentiate that?
But see,
Because you
because
got a
there's
lot of
no
black
racism.
people who you have some black people who are mixed with white.
But
You
here's
have
this.
black people who are mixed with Oriental. You have black people who are mixed with Puerto Rican. So
But
are you saying that they should isolate with the black people and forget about their Puerto Rican side?
no,
So
I
when
have the
you
answer
say
for
black
you.
should go ahead.
I have the answer for you. It's not us who made this rule. It's them that made this rule. Anything that is not white is
Amen.
considered black. That's not a rule we made. That's a rule they made. So
Exactly.
that
I'm not finna
anybody,
keep on trying
this
to
is
catch
why,
nobody but
and
to be
hence the
around
reason
them.
why Indians are considered people of color. Hence the reason why Puerto Ricans are considered people of color. Hence the reason why people that are Asian are considered people of color.
But
Because
here's the
anything,
problem though. When you talk to a lot of black people now, they're not referring to black as far as you being a person of color of how they label you. They're talking about black as if I'm all black. To be honest, who's all black? How many of us really don't have something else mixed in us?
well, of course I do
Uh,
because I'm an island boy.
I think we
And
taking
Creole
this
is
a
a
Yeah.
little
mix
bit
of
too
lots of
far.
different
Only
things.
thing I'm saying is it's different sets of us. Whether you black, white, brown, purple, or green, it's different sets of us. What do we look like as a group going to go try to chill with some YNs and don't think something ain't gonna happen? What do we as a group want to go over here and chill with these people that don't have no type of morality about themselves or spirituality and think we gonna tie in? I'm not just saying and we as black people just stay away from black. Let's talk about your sector of people that you want to be around. Because if you come around me and you want some negative, toxic shit, I have a choice that says I don't need to fuck with you.
Right. Because
Absolutely.
I will
No
not
We
matter
be
who
understand,
you
but
are.
negativity
That's
we're
what
around.
I'm
talking
talking
about
about as far as
yeah, we get
separating
what you're
yourself.
saying,
Because evidently us
Nisi.
begging for this racism to stop ain't worked in how many fucking years. So maybe you need to associate yourself with what you agree with and who you are. Because that's just like fighting against the grain, trying to go over here and talk to this girl that's swinging on the pole every week and think it's cool and think it's a career. That's something you
Yeah,
might
we
not agree with,
understand what
but
you're
she
saying.
does.
We
So
get
you separate yourself. That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
See,
Yeah.
this is the thing though. Your point is so valid, but somewhere down along the line, one of the things that was developed as well was toxic loyalty, to where people made it to where you're supposed to ride with your quote unquote people, friend group, relationship, whatever the case may be, until the wheels fall off. No, you ride with it as long as it fits. If it no longer fits and it's literally zapping the life out of you, you have to do something different. I never
Exactly. That's
forget
what
one
I'm
time my
saying.
mom
People
said
have
to
to
me, as
be
far as
able
my
to
friend group,
still have
she
their
said, you got to
sanity.
get to a
I just
point
can't
where you're
keep
going to
on being around
decide
a toxic
whether it's
motherfucker and
you
thinking that
or whether it's
shit
them.
finna go right. No, you have to separate yourself.
But that's a choice that each of us have to make every day and be aware of it. More times than not, we fall into the situation that we fall into personally and as a culture because we pretend like we don't see what's right in front of us. You know who's good
Exactly.
for you and who's bad for you.
Exactly.
When you see it's not good for you, move around.
And that's anybody of any race, denomination, creed, color, or whatever.
That's
No
what I'm
one,
saying about it's different sets of us. It
yeah,
is. No
it is.
matter what color you are. You would rather be hanging around a 48 and a 49, 50-year-old older woman than you would to be hanging around the ones that's 30 and 40 and still believe in racism. That is my point. That's
Right.
No,
something
I
that
agree with
really you
you.
can't deal
I
with.
agree with
You're not
you.
going to be able to kick it with.
That's why I made the statement. We just have to accept that there are some people who are just going to be that way. They're never going to change because this is just who they are. My thing is when it comes down to people who are racist or have bigotry type of ways or prejudiced thoughts and stuff like that, I don't have a problem with anybody being racist. This is them being who they are is not the issue with me. You
Right.
have every right to be a racist. If you have a right to disassociate, just like you, needs to be just like you saying, disassociate yourself with people of negativity. They have a right to disassociate themselves with any type of community of people they wish not to associate with. But here's this: they don't have the right to disrespect you because they chose not
Exactly.
to interact with
Facts.
And
you.
that's what I can't keep taking no more. Especially being a person of that. I ain't just been prejudiced against white people. I've been getting prejudiced against my own kind for me being a dark skinned girl. I have to sit up here and watch as a dark skinned woman
Oh,
see us get played on movies. It's always the light skinned woman dogging out the black woman or making the black woman like she's a very angry woman. That is frustrating to sit back and
you
see
know
that,
what?
and then you
It
come from
is
being bullied as
frustrating.
a dark
It's
skinned woman.
frustrating.
That is what I'm
It
talking
is.
about. That if any hate I'm gonna have about
It's for
prejudice,
me. It's
that's what I got a
frustrating
problem
because
with.
I don't
The
get to
light
watch
skinned woman
nobody
gonna get
else
a job before
be
the dark
treated that
skinned
way.
woman. That's what I'm
I get.
talking about.
I don't get to watch nobody get treated that way. I get treated that way as a dark skinned male that it has dark
So
features. I already got 3 strikes on my back. I'm male, that's the first strike. I'm dark skinned, that's the second strike, and I have dark features. I already look mean. High cheekbones, very. To explain it, if you saw me in person and you was casting somebody for a movie and you was casting angels and demons, you wouldn't be putting me with the angels just by what I look like. And to
Right.
have and to have and to have to go through life knowing that you have one of the most beautiful hearts and personalities and you don't mean nobody no harm at all. Just by sight, people instantly thought I was mean, painted me to be aggressive, painted me to be evil, all this and any other just by sight of me. Didn't get to know me, know anything about me. So I understand that frustration. I do. This is the very reason why, Nisi, they tell you at jobs, they don't tell them to smile when they at job. Make sure you smile and look bright. They don't tell them that. They tell us that because you don't see our emotion. We don't change any other color but brown. So no matter what emotion we in, we only brown. So in order for them to have an idea of what type of mood we're in, if we have a small smile on our faces, always make us look more welcoming. But to have a plain face that and don't have any type of face at all, they can't tell an emotion from us. And this is why we are always told to smile while we at work. They don't tell any other employees that.
yeah.
All because
Yeah.
we're dark
All I'm
and dark
saying
people are
is, it's not.
painted aggressive.
To keep it 100, let me tell y'all some real 100 shit. If we all join together, humankind, as one race, even no matter what color you are, they will fear us. Do you hear me? Unity is what they are scared of. Let's keep that 100. They like to
Facts.
keep separatism going on just so you won't unify and be able to beat the masses. They don't want everybody to come together as a nation because that's what a nation is.
Hey, y'all, watch
Multiple
this.
different
Stop
races
and think
coming
about it.
together.
When TikTok shut down
Uh-huh.
and all of the Americans from TikTok ran over to that red app, they were so afraid of what would happen if we unified with those Chinese people on that red
That's
app. What
right.
did
That
they
is
do?
what they're
They
scared
hurried
of.
up and got TikTok back up and running. Because why? Because why? If we allow them, if we shut down TikTok, they ain't got nowhere else to go. They done already defied us and went to the red app. Now they finding out basically that China ain't as bad as our politicians have tried to. A lot of us knew that already because half of the stuff we got made in China. We ain't never had a
Yeah.
problem with China.
They
But
never had a
because
problem
of
with
all the
black people either.
propaganda that they have put out there, and then we met them people over there like, y'all the same as us. So what they do, they sit back.
Exactly.
Well, no, we can't allow this to happen. Somebody get TikTok back up and running so
I'm
that
gonna
we can
tell you what
separate them two
it is.
again. Again, what else happened? When Onija, when she went over there to Pakistan, and them people treated her like a queen. Now the whole world thought Pakistan was nothing but a bunch of Unabombers. That's all they thought
Yeah,
they
and
was.
racist
Suicide
against black
bombers.
women.
They
That's what
thought they was
they
all
always say
terrorists.
that.
And
But
that
are you
black
paying
woman went over
attention?
there and they treated her like a whole queen
But are
and
you paying
let us
attention?
know that they culture is actually a culture of love and not a culture of hate and mistreatment. And
Mhm.
now all of a sudden we got wars breaking out all over the place
You know why that
because the
is?
Yeah,
powers that be don't want us unified
They
because
that's
don't
there's
want.
right.
power in unity.
But
That's
here's this:
right.
it's
That's
in the
right.
unity.
So that's why I'm frustrated. So why should I keep on trying to argue about the fight of racism? It's deeper than that. The rabbit hole is way deeper than that. And once our people wake up and and see what's really going on, oh my God, magic gonna happen. Do you
But
understand me?
here's
So
this:
you'll get
it's not.
frustrated if you can't
It's
get
not
nobody to
us
understand
that
that.
they trying to keep separate. They're not trying to separate themselves from us. They've always been separate from us since the beginning of time. So it's not us that they're separating themselves from. They're
Exactly.
trying to
I'm not
keep
gonna be
us
kissing
and
no
other
race book no
nations
more.
like
I'm
us
not
from
doing
coming together. You
it.
have to
This is too
understand how
much.
strong these nations are. China is a strong nation. Japan is a strong nation. Africa is a strong nation. If
You see
you're
how they
telling
thought them Africans lived over there poor as ever, didn't have grocery stores and everything. But them people said they lived just like us.
to
They done put
separate,
celebrities out
the
their
only
country
thing
for
it's gonna
lying on
do
them.
The only thing it's gonna do is separate every nation from them, and it's gonna make all of us come together.
Yeah.
Chinese, Africans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. It's gonna make us all come together because if you want to separate us, the only thing to separate us is we can't talk to y'all. That means we can talk to any other race. Y'all said segregate from y'all. We can, so that means y'all don't talk to nobody else. They talking to only white people. Don't talk to Mexicans. Don't talk to black people. Don't talk to no. Stay y'all right. So if you want this separation, go ahead. It's only gonna bring us together. That's why they
Yeah.
trying to separate us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, I
that's
suggest y'all remember when we
it.
did that video on the micronation? I
Mhm.
suggest we find an island that's big enough for us to really start the Champagne City. And we need to go to the island and everybody that's sick of all this racist shit across the world. Y'all, that's why I stood 10 toes with all them racists that was in my comments that thought they was gonna jump in my comments and do a virtual gangbang or something. Like I was one of them. Like all them
Oh my
pumped up,
God.
pompous ass
Careful.
men, racist men in my comment that saw a small channel and thought they was gonna gang up and run some. Like I
Oh,
was
they
one of
tried to
them.
go in
That's
on me too.
yeah, that's why I said what I said in that comment. Cause like, don't play with me. I'm about peace. At the end of the day, each community has issues. Each community has
Hmm.
problems. My problem isn't that y'all notice what's going on in our community. My problem is that you're spending so much time trying to police and pay attention to what's going on in my community that you're missing what's going on in yours. Because the same way Nuck Nuck and Day Day them might be planning on going on a drill right now, China is somewhere right now planning on unaliving this whole house. And every
Hmm.
community is missing what's going on because we so focused on hating the white man, hating the black man, that we missing what's going on with our damn kids. And they are
And
unaliving generations of us. How the hell does a kid 15 years old? I had this story and I keep saying I'm gonna cover it. I listened to the interrogation of a 15-year-old boy who
uh-huh.
him and his 18-year-old brother got fantasized about was it the Columbine shooting with the trench coat
Yeah,
mafia?
yeah,
And
yeah.
they fantasized and said that the body count wasn't high enough. So they wanted to go on a nationwide killing spree. And they were going to start with their family. So in one night, not only did they order the guns, but the guns were supposed to show up the next night to the house. So they decided because they didn't want the parents to see all these guns show up and start questioning them. Number one, press pause, let's rewind. How in the hell are you able to order a bunch of guns as a minor and your parents don't know? That means they not monitoring what you doing on the internet as a minor. This is what I say about parents not being parents. So they decided the night before they gonna take some knives and kill their whole family. So they brought their sister in the room, pretended like they was gonna have her read something, and I think he was 17. The 17-year-old brother
I
took the
heard about it,
blade
but I didn't
and
know all
slit
this.
his baby. I'm not done, baby. Slit her throat.
All this.
Slit that baby throat. And she
Mm.
didn't die the way it would happen in the movies. You know, they slit their throat and they
Right,
automatically drop.
right.
She started screaming. So it alerted the mama. When the mama ran up to see what was going on, he stabbed the mama. The
Oh,
mama
my
trying to get away. She get to the door, open the door, and gets out. He grabs her, pulls her back in, keeps stabbing her. The daddy runs down the
Oh,
stairs.
Jesus.
When the daddy is trying to stop him, after he finished with the mama, he stabs the daddy. There's two little brothers in the house. When they see what's going on, they run in the library, lock the door, call 911. Tell 911 the brothers are attacking the family. The 15-year-old brother knocks on the door to the library, convinces them two little boys that he's there to help them. When they open the door, he kills both of them.
Oh, my
The
God.
little baby only survived because they forgot she was in the room in the crib. Because the 15-year-old said she was supposed to die too.
Shut the
So
hell
while
up.
y'all trying to police what the hell going on in our community, how the hell did they parents know that they planning a massacre of the whole family and going on a shootout across the United States? How were they able to make this whole plan and y'all didn't know nothing, parents?
Hold on. Don't just keep on going. How the internet make it possible to even have guns like that even delivered at the address? Oh no, it goes on. Keep going deeper now.
You know why? Because in the United States, it is not illegal to have. See, here's what. But this is where we run into problems as a culture because we don't read and learn stuff. A lot of these young people, when they passed that CCW law, it was a setup. And we didn't even realize what the setup was because most states do not have a self-defense law, which means I have stories right now that I could pull up for you. It was a story where a woman was being stalked by this man, and she called the police over and over again to tell them that he was threatening to unalive her, and he had been stalking her. One day he caught her in her garage and tried to attack her in the garage, and she grabbed the shears, the garden shears, and she stabbed him with it and killed him. Do you know they charged her because they said had she not had the shears in there, he wouldn't have died because he didn't have a weapon on him? Because her state didn't have a stand your. That's why they passed stand your ground law. Because a lot of these states don't have a self-defense law. That's why a burglar was able to break into a woman's house. When he broke into the house, he fell through her glass table, cut his leg, and broke it. He sued her and won. The burglar.
Wow.
Wow.
Sued her and won. Sued her and won.
Oh, you
Because
broke it.
there's no stand your ground. So when they passed that CCW law, you had a bunch of people running out talking about, I can go get me a gun. I can go. You could always get a gun, dumb diddy. The CCW law gives you the right to conceal it. Before CCWs, if you had a gun, you had to carry it on the outside, so everybody would know if they decided to run up on you. I have a gun on me. CCW law gives you the right to tuck it under your shirt, put it in your purse, so nobody knows you have it on you. But in the
Damn,
United States, you
yeah.
can legally own and walk down the street with a long barrel rifle, and you don't have to go through the same procedure that you have to go through with a
Right.
handgun.
Right.
There's
A
a lot
minor
of
can walk
laws
down the
that
street
are
with a
so crazy to
shotgun,
me.
with an AK, and they don't have to have anything for it, and the police can't touch them.
Now,
Hmm.
I've heard a crazy story, Empress, and everybody that's listening. Now, they actually put it a little clipping of it in a cartoon that came out. I forget if it was Boss Baby or another cartoon of a such, but it was the story of this man was trying to commit suicide, and a person seen him trying to do it, and he jumps, and the man got to him in enough time to catch him, but because the man tried to save him, in the midst of saving him, he broke the man's leg, and he sued this man for getting in the way and stopping him from killing himself and
Yep.
breaking his leg.
Yep.
I
And
was
won.
like, and won.
Yep.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So if you mean to tell me, if I see somebody trying to harm themselves in that way, that fatal of a way,
Because
and
you
because
still got rights, even though you're trying to kill yourself, you got
and I
rights.
stop you, and in the midst of stopping you, I accidentally break your arm or a finger or something, and you sue me because I bitch, you was finna kill
But
yourself and you sue me over a finger. When you get out this courtroom, you finna sue
yeah.
me for a lot more.
But if you help them commit suicide, that's a crime
But
too.
that's a
Yeah,
crime. You
you
going
better
to jail.
ask Dr. Kevorkian because he helped a
So
lot of
I
motherfuckers
can
kill
sue
themselves when that
you.
man went to prison.
I can sue you if you stop me. And matter of fact, somebody sued somebody because they actually intervened and stopped them from committing suicide. They sued them and won.
Well, just so let me let you know this now, Empress Champagne. I really love you, but expect to see a summons to go to court because I am suing you for being too funny. One day I watched one of your programs and it made me laugh so hard I got a cramp and it caused me to have to miss work. So I'm suing you for a day of wages.
I can't.
Because that was the craziest shit in the world. And I thought it was a lie until I looked. I gotta find out what was this man's name. But I seen it, and I just brought it up when you made me think of it when you were talking about that law. And I was like, these is some crazy laws. If you help a person or something you do causes a person to kill themselves, you are deemed responsible for their death. Although them
Yeah.
killing themselves is fully their
What?
decision. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's
say,
why
I
the woman,
wasn't ready.
and come to find out, the dude that stabbed with the shears, he was like a police chief or something like that. So yeah, they told her had the shears not been in the garage, she wouldn't have never been able to unalive him. So because the shears was in the garage, she got found guilty for unaliving that man. So that's why a lot of these states had to come out with these stand your ground that gives you the right to protect yourself in your home. Because before that stand your ground law came, there's a lot of states that don't have stand your ground. They still have, just like right
Because
now, y'all know
Michigan
I said
definitely
the
don't
whole
got it.
CCW thing was a trap because let's say I'm at the gas station and I have my CCWs, right? And a bunch of girls, dudes or whatever, come up to me to jump me, but neither one of them have a weapon. I pull out my gun and I unalive one of them. I'm going to jail because
period.
there was
No question about it.
no immediate threat to my life because neither one of them had a weapon. That's the retardedness of the law. So it's setting a lot of people up because you think because I got my CCWs, if somebody run up on me, I can pull out my gun. No, you can't.
Not at all.
You
You're
see
going
the
to
girl. You see
jail.
the girl from Southfield stopped at this man's house because she got into a car accident. He took a shotgun and shot her through his door. He opened the door, and she had just got hurt in a car accident. She was drunk, and he shot her through the screen door. Do you know that man thought that he had a stand ground? Do you know the judge told him he could have closed that door and then never have to open it? You didn't have to. He charged that man.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because she wasn't a threat. The
he wasn't a
threat,
threat.
your action has to match the threat. So if your life is not on the line, you cannot pull that gun and use it. You going to jail. So that's why I say that whole CCW thing was a setup. It was a setup because they knew majority of us wasn't going to understand or read what the law was actually about, nor were we going to read and study what the law. A lot of people get in so much trouble in their state. They get
Oh
so
my
caught up because
goodness.
they don't know their laws. A lot
Empress,
of the stuff that we get caught up on is because we know the law. We don't know the laws. If a cop pulls you over, the only person who has to show an ID is the person who was driving. I'm not behind the wheel of that car.
you
Right.
made me think of something that I have to ask
Somebody got their
you.
TV up. It's echoing. Okay, go
I
ahead.
have to ask you about this. You covered something on your network a couple of weeks back about a racist lady who called this other lady child the N word.
Mm.
Okay, did you hear about this other incident about this lady being in a park and her daughter was at the swing and her daughter was on the swing or whatever the case may be, and she swung for a little bit, and she got off. But obviously, this other little boy wanted to get on the swing, but seeing her on it, he was on the sliding board and was sliding, waiting for the swing to become free. That child, when he got on that swing, Empress, and that lady saw him on that swing, if she didn't go over there and smack that baby off that swing and told him, don't get your black ass back on there until she's done. If I mean to tell you, that lady turned around and heard her son crying, she ran over there, and if she didn't foop pop her, but guess who went to jail?
What?
Yeah. I was like, I
Wow.
have to ask Empress, did she see that one on TikTok? Because
No.
I know you covered the one you covered. And when I seen, I was like, yeah, you made me think about, I don't know what made me think about that, but I had to ask you, yeah, went over there and knocked the mess out that lady's son. He couldn't have been no more than maybe like 4 or 5 years old, no more older than her daughter was, and told him, don't you get your black ass on there until she's done. That lady went over there and lost her ever loving man on her.
Don't blame her.
I
And
would have to
Because
say
when do we get
amen
to
to
a
that.
place
You
where
don't put your
kids
hands on nobody else's
so
child.
where kids are no longer off limits? That's the crazy part.
the way that police grabbed her by her arm, trying to put her in them cuffs, and that lady was screaming, let me go. You don't know, you just gonna take me to jail. You not gonna arrest her. She hit my child. You talking about me hitting her. She slapped, you see her whole handprint in her baby's face.
And I was sued. I was sued the
Girl,
department
I was
for
shaking. Because I
false
was shaking
arrest.
so. It takes a lot to invoke me to tears. I'm not saying I'm a heartless man in no way, but it takes a lot to make me cry. I'm really not a softie. But I was I was shaking. I could not have been that lady in no way, shape, or fashion. They would have had to put me down like a rabid dog because I would have beat the hell out of them. I'm sorry. They would have had to let me take y'all hands off of me.
Hey, you'd have been like that man on that video from yesterday that punched all
Oh,
3 cops and ran away.
They would have had to hit. They would have had to put me down, and
That man,
Lock
that,
would have
that
been
man,
locked up.
that man, WWE, the hell out of them, had all them motherfuckers looking like the Three Stooges. Bing,
This is the
bing, bing,
thing.
and that
Now,
nigga took
now
off running.
I'm not advocating for what the woman did. She was definitely wrong. But one of the things that I'm noticing as far as the culture and as far as North America in general, we don't take ourselves seriously. And I say that because you have people that come in here that's not necessarily from this country. I'll give you a prime example of a couple of different cultures.
Uh huh.
You have an Asian family come,
Uh
you have a
huh.
Mexican family come, you have a family of Indian descent. They have
Right.
come, they are all live together in one home, all eat out of the same bowl, share everything that they have. One of
Right.
them will open the business. And then after that, then another will open a business. Then after that,
Yeah.
another will open a business. North America and the culture, speaking from that personally, has to begin to take itself serious. Even if you got 6 people living in your home right now or better. If everybody just said, I'm going to put up $200 a month and we're going to put it in the pile and we're going to get an apartment building. We get you an apartment building. Then we get the next person an apartment building and the next person an apartment building. And we can't say we don't have the money because they say we have trillions of dollars in spending money, but we spending it on the wrong things. So there in turns make it to the world outside of us, specifically speaking to the culture now in North America, not take us serious because we don't take us serious.
And you know what, bro? I agree with that, but you have to once remember that ain't once was us. We weren't always that way. I remember a time when we came together and we helped each other and got things for each other. This is why we have grandparents that own land that got took from them. This is why we have people that had businesses that got the names and the titles and the rights took and got put in names that weren't even belonging to them. It's a lot that we had. And it hurts me to have to say that. And I agree with you. We have to take ourselves serious. But when you are made to disassociate yourself with who you were as a people, you tend to forget. Out of sight, out of mind. We forgot who we were and we forgot how we once cared about each other. And it then got so bad and then it happened so long, we so far away from it, we don't know how to reach back to get it.
Yeah, when
And
my
the
mama and them
problem
was
is, you got
young,
so many
if they
people
kids
in the
was
culture.
hungry, they took care of each other kids. If I get my food stamps on the third, I'm gonna help my sister kids, and then I'm gonna help my neighbor next door because I know she gonna look out on the ninth. It's just all of the back in the day they all used to feed each other. When you moved into your place, people came and brought you food when you first came on the block. Everybody met each other. The neighborhood stuck together. It's not like
And the
that no
reason why
more.
I say that because I come from that type of family. I've
Yeah.
always had that growing up. And he's absolutely right. We stopped taking ourselves serious and we have to take ourselves accountable for that. Because if we don't see ourselves as valuable and show ourselves that type of valuable, why would we treat each other the way we treat each other? Why would we expect any other race to care about us? They don't have to care about us.
Yeah.
And I said that in one of my lives. I've said that in many conversations that we've had in the past. Like, why would they care about us? We have
Yeah.
to care about us. They have to care about each other. And you see them do that. And he's absolutely right. This is why other races think that black people don't stick together. When Mexicans come here, they stick together. They stick with their own people. They help each other and they stick by each other. When Indians come
Yeah.
here, they open up businesses, they hire their people and help each other. And people say, oh, well, that's discrimination. No, that's not discrimination. You can't make a private business or hire nobody outside of their families.
Yeah.
That's a
Listen, I had
private
a
owned business.
conversation with where I used to live. It was a nail shop I used to go to, Oriental owned. And the dude that owned it, his name was Dollar Bill. He was so hood. But I had a conversation with him while he was doing my nails, and I asked him, I said, how did y'all, you know, get into the business? He was like, well, we all do nails. But he said, what we do is we come over here, We get a house. He said it's about 15 of us come over. We get in one house, 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom. We sleep everywhere. We put our money together. He said, and then he said we get jobs. We get jobs and we take the money from the jobs, put our money together, and then we start a nail shop. Everybody work in the nail shop. The money go back in to pay bills. So much money is put up. And then after we make so much money in that nail shop, he said we take a group of people out the house and we launch them into their own house and into their own business.
Yeah.
Then we take that money and send back home and bring another group in and start the whole process over. That's why you see they'll have like 5, 6 different nail salons, and then you'll ask them, "Oh, what about the nail salon over there? Oh, that's my cousin. What about the nail salon up the street? Oh, that's my auntie."
Yeah.
With us,
Well, we
we
did used
lost
to have that
unity so
unity.
much.
Black Wall Street.
We
We
lost
had that
unity so
unity.
much that we don't even care. We don't even care if our families had to come together right now and live in one house. You know what it would be? Well, she came in with 6 kids, so why I gotta pay 300 and it's 6 of them?
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
they should be paying the most. Her kids eating up
Yeah.
all the food, so why I gotta pay such and such and such and such?
Yeah.
I make
You
the
better
most money.
tell
Why
it.
I gotta sleep in the smallest room? See, we so me, myself, and I right now that we can't even. If we stopped and thought about all the entertainers right now that's got money, if they went back and said, you know what, all the money that we made, we gonna take this money back and invest in a community, invest in several communities. We gonna put security in the communities. We gonna put stores in the communities. We gonna put a league in the communities that polices the street, so we don't have to worry about calling 911. We gonna take care of each other. We
Yeah, and
don't
after
care
they
if
do
you
that, they
black.
want the other
We
news to
don't
come
I
out
care
say
if
wish
that
I
you
could be
white.
like
overdose.
that.
We don't care if you Hispanic. All we care about is you want us to come up together and you believe in unity and you ready to see something different in this world. Let's link up, come together, and make something happen. We don't know
I
how to
wish
do
I
that.
could be. I wish I could be
And
self-centered.
man, that's a
Put
beautiful
my me out of the
idea too,
world, and
Champagne.
I'm always trying to say something. You know what? But I take that back. I thank God for having that type of heart. I thank God for having that type of mind and spirit. Thank you, Father God, because I do, and I lie to y'all not. Sometimes I find myself daydreaming about winning the lottery and what would it mean if I called Emperor Champagne and be like, "What you doing? What would you
Hmm.
do if you was a millionaire? Where would you go? Where you can go there and say I can go and send her $2 million. Start something for my whole Champagne
Oh,
gang and
do it,
my
Jesus.
family." We,
Do it,
I,
Jesus.
I used to, I literally
Make it
one day
work,
my mom was
Jesus.
FaceTiming me and she was like, "Baby, why you crying?" I said, "Mom, it's not bad tears. It's me daydreaming about what I would do for so many people if I was a millionaire."
Let me tell y'all something. I'm so glad you said that because, see, that's one of the things that I tap into with people when I do my personal coaching. Because I'm a vision coach. So I assist people with creating a vision for their lives and setting action plans to help see that vision come to pass. Because I'm a firm believer in what the scripture says, without a
Me
vision, the
too.
people perish.
Me
And a
too.
lot of the problem that's going on with all of our communities, black, white, I don't care. We don't have a vision. Everybody just going with the flow, living haphazardly. You
Yep.
don't have an
Just
end goal in
existing.
mind. You
No.
don't have nothing. And one of the things that I teach people over and over again is how to dream again. Because we've gotten to the place where we have forgotten how to dream. We've forgotten how to dream for more. So if I'm not dreaming for more, I'm not reaching for more. One of the reasons why I said, you know what, I can't wait till my channel is extremely successful, and I can't wait to all the positivity that I try to bring to the Champagne City when I start seeing super chats and super thanks and all of that. Because what I want to do is take that money and I want to start women's shelters. in every state. And these
I'm
aren't
saying
shelters.
the
We're not going to call them
same thing.
shelters.
That's
We're going to call
crazy.
them kind of like a new step on life, because I want to be able to help put these women who are really ready to leave these domestic abusive relationships. I
Mhm.
want to be able to help them get on their feet, help them start over, whether it's in a new state, and help them start over better than the position they was in before. That's what I really want money for,
You
because I
see?
want to show people how you do your community when you see issues. I want to take money and I want to start a youth activity center so our
Yeah.
kids ain't got to spend so much time on the street, but they got places that they can go while mama and daddy still trying to make money at work and can't be at home with them when they get out of school. You got a place to go where you protected. You ain't got to worry about pedophiles. We gonna help you with your homework. We gonna help you do college applications. Not only
Mhm.
that, but we gonna help you so that you can excel and learn a craft, learn a skill, learn small engines, learn how to change oil, learn how to build a car, learn how to do some construction, some trades.
Well, you
That's what
already
I really
know
want to do.
what I want to build. I mean, it's very obvious. It's in all my thumbnails, this and that. Although I call myself Father Locke's Horror House, don't it? Everything looks like some form of theater.
Yeah.
I want to own a theater so bad and teach acting and live open theater. Being a theater major and graduating in theater, this is why I like to do the type of productions that I do on my channel. It I want to show some. It's so much time. It give people a reason to come back out, a reason to reunite, get away from just being in front of a camera. It's like they're making it to where we have no other choice but to isolate ourselves from everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing to go out and do. There's nothing to go out and see. There's nothing to take part in. There's not everything around you. They're making it. They're almost putting in this automatic fear to even want to exist around other people or try to communicate with other people.
Yeah.
It's almost scary. It's almost like if I get to know them, what would be the outcome? Or they might try to snake me in some way. And it's so bad that you have to go into everything with that thought of, I hope I'm not finna screw myself. I hope I'm not finna get done wrong. I hope I'm not finna get ran up. You shouldn't have to have that as the first initial thought of meeting anybody or being around anybody. But it's almost like there's no other choice.
That's so true. And you need to have that thought process to a certain extent, but it has to be balanced. I said that,
Yeah,
and I
bro.
said it that way because, contrary to popular belief, matter of fact, we take it to the principles. It said that the heart is deceitfully wicked above all else. Who would know it or who could know it? So if that's the case, just because your heart is telling you to do something, you have to go deeper than that. A lot of times we had everything that we needed, but we chose to give it to people who we should not have.
Yeah.
Be it our love, be it our finances, be it our ideas, whatever the case may be, we have to be careful. I
Yeah.
believe for individuals like us who are like minded like us, that God is going to open up a door and He's going to bless us. But
Yeah.
we have to be careful that we do not squander the blessing because we got emotional. I had to help them. No, you didn't. I have a saying, and people
Yo,
think it's so harsh,
you're right,
but I
bro.
stand on it. Just because that they need help, don't mean that God called me to help them. That may
Same
be on
family.
somebody else.
Amen.
Because if I step out of line, then
Okay.
I'm out of the will of God. I have to move when He said move, not because I feel like I want to.
So true.
Yeah, it just goes to the saying that's been a saying since it was a saying. No one can do to you no more than what you allow.
I used to have our bishop, one of his sayings that he used to tell us, he used to tell his kids was, your procrastination is not my emergency. And a lot of times what we do is we run to people's rescue without even realizing whether or not they need to be rescued.
You know
If
what,
you
Empress?
are on a cruise ship and you decide to jump off the cruise ship, who fault is it that you decided to leave the safety of your ship and jump into treacherous water? What? Because you wanted to see if you could swim, you wanted to see if you could drown. Now I'm supposed to stop what I'm doing and
Remember
run
we
to your
said that in the
rescue because
conversation
you
on
decided to jump.
Discord, Empress. We had this conversation. You're right. I remember we had this conversation. Pretty much to say, if you knew you couldn't swim, why would you hop in the water?
Why would you hop in
So
the water?
right. So
Not my
everybody with their hands up,
problem.
counting
That's just
fingers,
not my
ain't counting because they
problem.
need help. They see you as an opportunity.
Yeah.
I ain't got
Everybody
time
that's
for
yelling
this
help ain't
foolery.
drowning. My granny used to tell me that. She used to tell me that all the time. Let granny tell you one thing, said. Everybody yelling help ain't drowning.
Yeah.
Like the
And I
boy
used
who
to be like,
cried
what you
wolf.
mean, Granny? Just because they holding their hand above that water, counting fingers, if they knew they couldn't swim, they wouldn't have never gotten the water. Don't believe everything you see.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
everything
some
but
people
what you
just want to
hear.
get you out in that water just so they can drown you in it.
She used to say, what's seen is not always what is.
Yeah.
That's right.
And see, a lot of our
Thank you,
problem is
Granny.
we have no discernment. We have no discernment at all. That's because we've gotten to a place as a people. I remember black people used to be so connected with God. We used to be so connected.
Oh,
We used to
Empress, you
have,
read my mind. I was just finna say because we
we
done
used to
lost
be
what
so
fed
connected.
our life force. You are absolutely right.
We
Our
used to be
connection
so
with God is
connected.
so gone.
It's so gone. And I blame a lot of the preachers. And I blame a lot of the churches because the churches have gotten so far away from the will of God it doesn't make any sense. It's no longer about drawing the people in. The church used to be your safety net. The church is supposed to be the hospital. That's what we quote
Mhm,
all the time. Sick people go
mhm.
to a hospital in order to get the medication or the treatment they need to feel better. How in God's name do I go to the hospital and I leave the hospital feeling worse than I felt when I got there?
Come on, then. You
At
didn't go to
some
the
point, the
hospital.
hospital needs to be shut down, don't it?
Yep.
Church is the only place that can call itself the hospital with doctors, but doctors don't have to face malpractice suits when you hurt the patients that came in to seek you for help.
Hey, Empress, you didn't go to a hospital. You went to a hospital.
You went to a hospice.
You came out more hurt than you already was.
Already are. Because church is no longer about saving souls.
No,
Church look like the world now.
that's what I
They
was just
pop
gonna
locking
say.
and twerking in the church. They
I
praise
can't make you
dancing
stop
with
sinning if
booty
I still
shorts
want
on.
to do it. And and that's why they're gonna want to make you okay with sinning when they want to continue to do it. Now,
Anytime
fine.
Glow River win a gospel award, you know something in the milk ain't clean. Kirk
Come
Franklin
on.
went from praising the church to saying I'ma just go ahead and tell y'all I've been to church a long time ago. What damn things?
Mhm.
That's because you was never really in it in the beginning. You got what you wanted
Exactly.
out of the
It be
church.
the foolery for me.
See, a lot of people understand how gullible black women are in church. Let's just put it on the rug so they know
Yeah.
all we gotta do is appeal to and excite the black women in church and we on. That's how R. Kelly was able to make a whole gospel album that
Mhm.
didn't go platinum.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
pretty
don't get me
much.
wrong, I love the song. He saved me. Don't play with me. I love the doggone song, but it's because we put Tyler Perry, another one. He
Mhm.
appealed to black women in church. And we are the ones that put Tyler Perry on. And now
Mhm.
that he done got some money, prestige, he don't care about us. Cause he like, what did you call it earlier, Father Lot?
He's suffering from type 2 diabetes.
Diabetes, type 2 diabetes. There
I'm
you
not
go.
about to do this
Now,
with
now
y'all today. I'm not about to do this.
Hey, look. He appealed it to y'all because he wanted to be y'all, and when y'all got him to a point where he could, y'all didn't matter no more.
Yeah. How we say
Cat
power
Williams
corrupts.
said it best. He couldn't play a man
Absolute
if you
power
made him.
absolutely corrupts. When you
Yep.
already corrupt, all money is gonna do is really show how corrupt you were on the inside.
Yeah.
That's why we were taught when we were kids, what goes up must come down. They taught us in school about gravity almost on day one. What we
Yeah.
forgot is the law of gravity. What goes up
But
must come
Must
back down.
come down.
Side that you
Mhm.
people don't realize your life does not become on Front Street until you're in the until you're in the spotlight, until you're on the mountaintop. So what we're supposed to be doing right now while we're preparing for the mountaintop is we're supposed to be working out all those kinks in our life, that by the time we get to the spotlight, by the time we get to the mountaintop, our flaws are not on display, but our purpose is. But the problem is because our flaws outweigh our purpose, when we get to the spotlight, by that time, all people can see is your flaws on display because you didn't take care of them before you became the who's who.
Yeah.
Word.
Because in life, you're going to
right.
go through trials and tribulations. We all know everybody ain't perfect. It's all about redeeming yourself on anything that you've been done in life. How you going to come and be able to talk to somebody about doing better if you ain't doing better? You got
Right.
to love yourself before you can love anybody else. That
Nisi,
goes
I'm
along
glad
with
you said that.
hurt people.
Nisi, I'm glad you said that. That's one of the things where I think that each and every person got to begin with, and it's lacking across cultural lines. Self
Yeah.
That's
care.
right.
It's okay to love yourself. It's
Yeah.
okay to take care of yourself. How is it that you can have the energy to take care of everybody else, want to be a blessing to everybody else, but don't want to be a blessing to yourself?
You're
Your
absolutely
mental
right.
health matters. Your peace matters. Your relaxation
You
matters.
Exactly.
you
You
are to love
smiling,
yourself.
laughing, loving matters.
Yeah.
How can
You
you
have
do
to love
anything for
yourself.
anybody else if you are not first okay yourself?
That's right.
Yep, and we don't take enough time to make sure that we are okay. We don't take enough time to get our mental health. That's why I created this channel the way that I did. Because for a lot of us in the culture, you can't I have two books self-published. One book, well, I have three. One book is a self-help book. It's called From Victim to Victor: Breaking the Cycles in Your Life.
Come on.
What I noticed about us as a culture is we don't like reading about ourselves. We don't
No.
like anybody to take a mirror and put it in our face and say, "No, I'm not going to tell you about you. I want you to look at yourself in this mirror and I want you to see the flaws in you yourself." See, we don't like that mirror put in our face. I did another
Yeah.
book. It's called Delilah, Can You Resist? Now, this book is a Christian fiction book, but the way I created the book is because I realized that you almost got to trick us, people, into getting help. So you can't really put it in their face. But I said, if I hide it in a fiction book, then they not really going to realize they're getting help, but they going to be getting help while they don't realize they're getting help. So the whole premise of the book is, you know, the story of Samson and Delilah. So
Yeah.
Delilah was used to bring Samson down. So I wrote the book from the perspective of Delilah, but it's written from Delilah being a spirit. So if you ever seen them stories or seen them movies where you see the person talking, but you hear a voice talking to the person, trying to
Pretty much
influence the
is.
person to
I
do,
get what you're
that's
saying.
the
Pretty
way the
much
book
Delilah
is
was like
written.
his conscious.
Exactly. She's a character, but she's the spirit of influence. And what she's doing in the book is she's saying, I'm gonna give you all my tactics. I'm gonna give you every single way that I come at a person. I'm gonna give you all the tricks that I use. And after I put it all on the line and tell you who I am and exactly how I come for you, can you still resist me? So it's called Delilah, Can You Resist? And it really gets you to look at what voice are you really listening to, because it's only one or two. You either listening to the voice of God or you listening to the voice of the enemy. Which one are you really listening to? Which voice is really guiding your life? Because we don't know. We don't know from 1 minute if the voice we listening to is God, if it's the enemy. Half the time we choosing evil when we think we choosing good. We don't even know what good look like no more, because we got so much evil in front of our face that we are now
Empty.
in a day and age where we think
Hey,
good is
you know
evil and we
what,
think
lady?
evil is good.
You got a slick ass mind, lady. And the reason why I say that, for how you just broke that down in reference to Samson and Delilah, and from Delilah's perspective. Now, although you took it to the spirituality of if you're listening to God or you listen to the enemy, I'm gonna take it to humanity. Did anybody, it just like the like perception, what we see, the light look like her and Samson are in love, this and that and the other, so on and so forth, this and that. But who knows the real truth when they're by themselves, what really go on between Samson and Delilah.
Right.
So
Well,
the
she
whole
cut us
purpose
down there when
of
they was on cut his
people
strap. She
thinking
cut us
on the
out.
reference of speaking on Delilah from Delilah's perspective, her crushing him and weakening him, could that be her weakening him because she saw the monster he was and nobody else did? So before you become a bigger monster outside us, let me crush you now.
Mm.
Let me stop you now before you become a bigger monster than what the public don't see outside of you and me. Because that's what happened in human relationship with men and women right to this day. What we see look like it's all good and dandy, but what's behind them closed doors could be a whole different story. Perception is only what you take it to be. Reality is the true reality. So maybe her,
That's true too. And you also see it from the other standpoint of the fact that Samson was told not to touch her. He wasn't
very,
even supposed to cohabitate with them. So
very,
it
Exactly.
shows the dynamic of what happens when we go outside. A lot of times the will of God, sometimes we go outside our own morals and ethics to gravitate towards
that's
something
what I
because
was
we feel
saying.
like
There
it's
you
gonna have
go,
a
Empress,
benefit.
as if using it in a reference of human morale.
Yeah,
We go outside
yeah,
our home morale, and look what happens each time we do that. To define your own, and that's really damaging and it's dangerous when you define your own self morale and preservation. You
yeah.
already have enough deception around you. Why would you deceive yourself? It's like a person, it's like it's very much akin to a person who beat. Why would you beat up yourself when you already got enough around you that's trying to take you down? Why make it easy for them? Is what I'm saying. Why
Right.
make it easy for them?
And
Is
that's
that
what I'm saying. And taking it back to the point, but also parody with this as well. Now, of course, I was not there, but I say it for the standpoint of looking at Samson just in another way. When you care for yourself, you're very particular on where you lay your head.
Exactly. Fact.
He knew what was at risk, but he chose to allow himself to yield to it. Every day, we know what's at risk. For us to have too long of a mental lapse, too long of an emotional reaction, could cost us more than we're willing to lose and put us further off track than we want to be. So even when you don't feel like it, I am beautiful. I am handsome. This won't always be like this. Versus allowing negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative self view to just drift off into the point of no return almost. Begin to care about yourself. Because if you care about you, and then you're strong enough to care about yourself on your own, then you can care for someone else. Someone else can care for someone else. And then that's how it spreads like wildfire. But
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you got thousands of people coming together who don't even love themselves and telling everybody else to love.
Fact.
Yeah,
And you don't
I
even know
totally
you don't
agree.
even know what you're trying to tell them to love because you don't even know what about you love or they should love because you
Right.
don't know you. A lot of us are walking around and y'all, that's why we used to have our Wellness Waves Wednesday. That's why we did Heartbreak Hotel when during the Wellness Waves Wednesdays because we're so busy walking around trying to connect with something. How are you going to? The Bible says, and the two shall become one flesh. So, how can you be two if you didn't start off as one? It takes one whole plus one whole to make two. So,
Yeah.
if you're only a half of a person, or a quarter of a person, or three-fourths of a person, how can you go into a relationship and become two? You ain't even one within yourself. So you have broken people connecting with broken people, but you think you're going to make a whole relationship. And that's why you got people walking around talking about our relationship is 50-50. How? Then that means there's a whole portion of the relationship you ain't attained yet because you giving 50% and they giving 50%.
So
Well,
where's the
50
other
plus 50 is
50%?
one.
Right.
It's not two.
Mhm.
So you still missing out of your relationship because you haven't put all of you in it. And if you're not willing to invest all of you, then why are you investing any of you? You know why? Because we get in relationships for the sex. We get in relationships for the feel. Women love from between their legs most of the time instead of loving with their head.
Yep.
If he can pipe us down right and lick us up right, then we going all in. And this is my man. I'm gonna stick beside him because
That
the sex is good.
that just irritated me, and you just using it as an example because I hate that. Oh, that just gave me. Oh, that made my back itch.
Cause you know that's how they do. I'm a stick beside him.
He love me. Girl, you just don't know how he be putting it down. I can't leave daddy.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
you left your daddy when you left your mom and dad's house. Stop calling him your goddamn. Oh, that irritates the love.
Yes, Daddy.
Yes, Dad. Yes,
Now
baby.
it's Zaddy. They put a little
I
zest on
can't
it.
Yes,
stand it. I
daddy.
can't stand it. I hate it with every ounce of my being. What the hell is a zaddy? What is a zaddy? That's
Yes,
the most
daddy.
trifling shit I
Don't
ever
it
heard in
sound
my
it?
life.
Oh. She said,
Man, they just come up with any damn thing and they make money off of it and it go viral, okay?
I can't. Oh, I just can't because it to me it is so disvalued. You should look at him and be able to call him your husband one day, not your daddy, and you wonder why he treats you like he think he is. Titles begin to bear it in the mind. Your mind only know how to process what it learned about certain definitions of words. And when you calling him that, that's why he's treating you like he think he's your daddy. And the first thing come out your mouth, you don't tell me what to do. You ain't my daddy. Yes, he is. You call him that every day.
every day. Every day. There's power in words. Didn't our parents tell it? We was told as kids, you don't call your children out of their name because words have power, and what you
Yeah.
call them is what you're labeling them as.
Yep.
So you can't call your wife a bitch and then wonder why she acts bitchy. You
Yep.
named her that. One of the privileges and authorities that God gave Adam in the Bible was the ability to name
Name.
everything that
Come
walked
on.
the
Come on.
face
Come
of the
on.
earth. And everything that he named them, that's what they became. He called it a goat. Well, doggone it, that's what it is. It's a goat because I gave you the authority to name it that. So,
And
what
not
do we
only did
think
it become a
happens
goat,
in
it took
relationship?
whatever actions that other goat.
Exactly. So, what happens in relationships when we name each other motherfucker?
He becomes that.
He become that when you constantly accusing him of cheating.
He
What I
becomes
had to
that.
tell one of my exes, you know what? I'm this type of chick. If you gonna keep accusing me of something I'm not doing, then you're not gonna have to worry about whether or not I'm doing it. Consider it done because you keep saying I'm doing it. So let me make it true for you.
That's what I said. I don't want you to be lying on me. So let me go ahead and make it
Let
true.
me go ahead and make it true, so that way you ain't gotta wonder no more. Now, was that some toxic shit to do? It was. It was. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even gonna lie, because I could have just walked away. But in essence, it was saying, don't play with me. I'm not one
Right.
of them.
Right. Pretty much.
I'm not one of them. But because we don't love ourselves, we don't deflect from us anything that represents that love. We don't, because we don't know us.
Right.
You don't even know
Even
what
know
to
what
do.
to do.
You don't know
You
what
don't
you
know what
like.
you like.
Have you
Have
even
you
sat
even
down
sat
and
down
thought
and
about
thought about
what you like
what
and
you
what you
like and
don't
what
like?
you don't like?
Right.
Right.
No, because we
No,
don't have a
because we don't
vision.
have a vision.
I'm echoing.
I'm
I hear
echoing. I
myself.
hear myself.
Somebody got their
Somebody got
TV
their
up.
TV up.
When you
When
love
you love
yourself,
yourself,
it will save you a lot of frustration. I'm just so on the rug with it. I think that's my talk your ears. If you don't want to go to the family function, don't go.
Right.
They may not like you for a while or forever. But if that's going to disrupt your peace and disrupt your growth, don't go.
Right.
If
Why
you
put
don't really
yourself
like
through that?
that woman, or you don't really like that man, stop spending time with them.
Yeah.
You could buy your own self dinner.
Right. Why cause your own issues?
Love yourself, and I mean it in its proper context. Love yourself. Value yourself. If you
You know
don't
why I
know
think
where your
it's
value
hard for
is,
people to
find it.
grasp that?
If you can't do it on your own, ask someone to help you.
Yeah.
The
Because there is
principles
a
are very
difference
clear.
in loving
Pride
yourself
goes
and
before
being
destruction,
in
and a
love with
haughty spirit
yourself.
before a fall. Don't be prideful. If you don't know how to love yourself, if you lost their value, get it back.
I
Of
agree with
your
you
own
there.
or with help.
I agree. Like he
That's
said,
why
if you
one of the
need
things that
help
we
with
gonna start.
someone teaching you how to love yourself again or showing you the proper way to love yourself, because people do get it misconstrued and don't know how to delegate the difference of loving yourself and being in love with yourself. There's a big
Yeah,
difference. We are to
big
love
difference.
ourselves, but we're not to put ourselves in no higher being of narcissists. Not at
Yeah,
all. We're
Exactly.
not to be in love with ourselves. That's a big difference.
Exactly.
And you're right. It does take a level of knowing how to properly give that type of self-care, that type of self-awareness, mental health, and self-love to yourself. Because some people think that means walking around acting like they shit don't stink. And that's not what that
right.
means.
Arrogance is not
Right.
confidence. There's two
Right.
different things.
Arrogance.
Matter of
Right.
fact,
Thank you.
arrogance is a sign of insecurity. It's not a sign of confidence.
The
Because
biggest
if I'm
sign of
securing me,
insecurity.
if I'm securing me, I don't have a problem looking at another woman and telling her, "Girl, you bad. You
If
bad."
you securing you, why do you need to state the obvious? If security is shown, not said.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what
You
I
wouldn't
mean?
have
Empress,
a
you don't have
problem encouraging somebody else when you secure in you. I'm so secure in me. I want to see everybody win, even if
right.
me
I
helping you
celebrate
win
others more
pushes
so
you
than
past me.
myself because I'm so right, right.
Because I'm secure in me. I'm secure in who I am.
I'm secure in who I am, but I am jealous of your production, Empress, and I'm finna get you a channel strike.
Hey, I mean, listen, you know the girl be producing, honey. You know the girl be producing. That's why the people don't be getting all the videos because they don't understand. That's why I said one of these days I'm gonna go live and I'm just gonna do a create with me because I really don't think people understand the time, the
It is.
energy,
Come
the
on
thought
with your
process,
talent.
and all of that goes into creating the kind of productions that I create for y'all. Like all of these thumbnails and backgrounds. And see, I use OBS Studio. I come to StreamYard when I want to have an open panel like this because OBS, it has it set up where you can add a guest on, but you have to have it set up from the beginning. So being able to allow people to come up and drop down whenever they want to, it's like it's you can't do it with OBS. I can't wait till they get an interface that
Yeah,
makes it
so
more
you can,
streamless.
yeah.
That way I will be able to do all this in OBS. But setting up those scenes
But
and
I told
sources
you I
in
love
OBS,
it. I love
baby,
OB.
listen,
when
those
I
little 7 to 10 minute Hollywood untolds that y'all see, I gotta do all the research for that. I don't have people on the channel yet that send me a whole bunch of stories that be like, Empress, go check your email. I sent you a story. I need you to check this out. I sent you the details for it. So I got to research the story. After I research the story, then I got to put it together in a script. Then I got to record the voiceover for that script. Then I got to find the pictures or create the scenes to go with that script. Then I got to put them all together. Not only that, I gotta edit them and add the transitions and put the cover, put the music in the background. Baby, then I gotta download it all. That takes time as well. And while I'm downloading it, I can't start working on another one. I gotta wait till that one fully downloads. So y'all, a 7 minute video can take like 5, 6 hours
and
because you're
don't
doing the
get a
whole
chance to do a screening before you upload Empress. And you watch it and then you get to the end of it and something glitched or messed up and you have to start
glitch. Right.
all over again. They
YouTube
don't
start messing
understand the
around with
process.
my lives
That's why
because
I be
we
so
covered them
mad.
doggone sex robots. And YouTube ain't stopped messing with my lives since I covered them sex robots that Elon trying to bring and them aliens in the ocean. So we
That,
be in the middle of the live and the live just cut off for no reason at all.
that's
Just
why I
just
be
off.
so mad when I don't get my notifications because I know how much time you put into your production. And of course, you know I want to come and be over here. If I'm not doing nothing, I be waiting for you to do stuff so I
Well,
can have something to watch because I don't watch anything else on YouTube. If I'm
right.
not watching me on YouTube, I'm watching you on YouTube, Empress. So if you doing something and I don't get, cause I was pissed that day when you said, "Did you see my new video?" That's why I commented on it. Like I'm so tired of YouTube not giving me my. Me and Nisi was pissed. Nisi said it first. She was the first. Her comment was the first comment I seen. Why I ain't get my notification about me either? I was heated.
Or that one live we did, I'm whole in the live by myself whole time. Y'all telling me y'all was kicked out of the live and the live disappeared. You couldn't even find it on YouTube, but I'm still live. Trying to
And
figure out like where my people at. Come to find out the whole live them vanished. Like they can't even
oh,
find it
I
nowhere.
forgot all about that. I forgot about that because remember I shared it to my wall so that Lock
Yep.
family could come in and we couldn't even find it on my community wall.
just disappeared. So I'm telling my subscribers and members, people who are paying members of the channel, like, hey, y'all check out the live last night. They go back to the page like, bro, this wasn't even here last night. We was trying to get in the live and couldn't find it nowhere. Not on
Oh
your page, not on the FYP. It was just nowhere.
no. Now I don't feel bad that because I ain't got my membership just as yet. Well, back just as yet. Let me get some things together. I'm coming back. Be part of my Champagne Game Fist fam. You know what I'm saying? But for me to not find it is okay. Not members couldn't find it, Empress. I didn't know that.
No. Nisi is a member. She couldn't find it. Paying member. Couldn't find the live. And she was in it. That's the crazy part. She was in the live. Because
I was
saw
in
her
the
and all of a sudden her comments just stopped. And I was
So was
like,
I. And I
oh,
was like, what
Nisi must
happened?
have had to go take care of something. And when I talked to her the next day, she said she got kicked out. And when she got kicked out, she couldn't even find it no more.
And the way it looked to me, it was like you just stopped it. And I remember I told you, I was like, oh, well, maybe she gonna start it over. Maybe it didn't start.
That's what I thought, that maybe it would start over. And I'm still looking at this blank still screen of the last shot of me looking at the live.
Yeah.
So
So,
when I
Krabby,
went back,
number one, first of all, y'all, we gonna have to stop and give a big shout out to Krabby for being in our comments and gassing
yes,
us up and sticking with
Well,
us
I
the
can't
whole
see
show.
big ups and big shout out to
Man,
Krabby
chat.
for
listen,
real.
we hope you subscribe. Welcome to the family. This is what we do.
Welcome.
Over here, baby, there's no toxicity, there's no negativity. We talk. My line is we do grown discussions and bubbly banter over here, baby. That's what we do. We talk. We are a family. We are a group of individuals that
Yeah.
actually met on YouTube. We didn't know each other
Yeah.
before.
At
They
all.
found my channel, fell in love with my channel, and been here ever since. And we've
For
been like
sure.
literally family.
You know me,
Really like
Empress.
family.
I love to tell the story on how we met on YouTube. It was the craziest thing. I'm watching one of my videos on YouTube with my mom, actually, because I didn't know my mom was one of my family members until she commented on some stuff. So you're welcome, Krabby. So my video went off, and then they up next, and Empress Champagne was in the up next. I was like, Champagne Secrets TV. So I was took by her icon because I'm a makeup artist, and her icon, her avatar is B. Her makeup is B. Mama B. So I clicked on it and watched it. Oh, whoa. She ain't playing in her videos. Come on now, production. So I go and look because I'm getting ready to subscribe. I look and see she got 168. I'm 160. What the? Oh, hell no. I was her 169th person. And I was like, no, they got to know her. Somebody got to see her. And I shared her video to my wall. Her next video comes out. It was my birthday. I watch it. And she do this beautiful video, this happy birthday. I was in tears, my soft ass. I was like, I can't believe she did this for me. Like, are you kidding me? I had to show it in one of my videos, thanking everybody for giving me thanks, happy birthdays and wishes and stuff like that. And I had to show that in my video, and I was stuck to her like glue since then. She messaged me on my makeup page. I see her icon. Now I see the lady who, why the hell is she not in her video? She pretty as hell. What is wrong with her? And I told her that she come hit me with, felt like I got anxiety, so I don't be drunk. If you don't anxiety your ass in front of that camera. And when she did, it was over. They flooded her channel.
Yeah.
Before I knew anything,
And I
she was
do.
starting.
People don't understand that anxiety is some. I still have anxiety, and that's why I say, like, people who are new to the Champagne City, we have a section on our channel that's called Night Secrets. And in Night Secrets, we do, like, there's people who like to go to sleep to rain. So there's a rain, I think it's called Rain and Relaxation. There's a video on there. There's some people who like positive affirmations as they go to sleep. So there's a video in that section it's called Fluid Affirmations, and we're doing affirmations, and it's all for sleep time. And for those who are Christian who want something more biblically based, we have one that's called Biblical Affirmations. So it's all these scriptures with the sound of rain and all of that in the background that really help you sleep. Like, the whole point of the channel is to really help people come in tune with themselves. We don't know who we are. We know who people told us we should be. We know what people told us we should do. We know what people told us we should be when we grow up. But who are you for you? Like, who did God tell you were supposed to be? So when I chose the name Champagne, because I like champagne, it's bubbly. But the secret in secret is empowerment. So that's what our whole channel is about. Our channel is about empowering other people to be able to attain and live the best version of you possible. This ain't about nobody, because sometimes we spend so much time dealing with the negative that we don't deal with the positive. If we spend more time talking about what the devil is doing than talking about what God is doing, then basically what we're doing is giving the enemy more power than your God. So what we do on this channel is we take and spend time talking about what is your creative areas, what is your gifted areas, what areas can we help you see you outside of the struggle and outside of what you're going through, so that you can learn to see past that, so that you can see your future. And that's why we really started Talk Yo Shh. Like, our original stories for Talk Your Shh is for people to really be able to come up and release all that negativity. And we do it without saying any names, without saying locations. As you see now, there's nobody's avatar showing, and they're not showing on here, because if a person is going through something really serious and they just need to vent with that anonymity, this gives you the place to do it. You don't have to. And then we use weather phenomena for names. So instead of saying your coworker Sally did such and such and such and such, you can say my coworker Winter, my coworker Storm, my coworker Ice.
Love
Or
it.
just say ice.
Absolutely
That
love
way
it.
you're separating yourself and it's anonymous. But you can get all that negativity out, because we spend so much time carrying around so much weight from negativity from our childhood, negativity from past relationships. That's why majority of y'all can't get in a good relationship that work, because you're constantly taking baggage from old relationships into new. See, some of y'all should have been around when we did Escape in the Heartbreak Hotel. That's when y'all should have been around. Because we hold on, and that's why we so stressed. That's why we so depressed. That's why we deal with the fear of rejection. And I'm not one of them type of people where I'm a coach because I'm so far beyond you. No, I'm a coach because I'm either going through what you went through and I have the tools that I'm using to help pull myself out of it, or I came through what you went through and I have tools to help you come out of it. But I'm no further than you. I'm not way up here on the mountain looking at you like you a little ant down here. No, baby, we all family and we gonna come out together.
Pretty
If I
much the
learn
same.
something, I'm reaching back and giving it to you. Father Locke, he gave the story when I connected with Father Locke. I went on his channel, and I'm a horror fanatic. I love horror. Let me pronounce it, because it always sounds like I'm saying
You
Father
said I
Locke
got a
whorehouse.
whorehouse. I'm telling you, you just gonna make me be Father Cock. Can I be Father Lock? You just gonna make me the stripper.
I keep saying Father Lock Whorehouse, y'all. It's Father Lock Horror House. I gotta work on my enunciation. But when I look at his videos, because he produced too, and I'm looking and I'm like, he should be at 1K. But when I looked at the last time he had created a video, I'm like, why is he not creating? So when we connected and he was telling me he had all this studio equipment and it got damaged and he really lost the heart for it, I said, huh.
I
So
was
I
hurt
need
to
to
my
figure out a way to get him back creating. So what I did was I told him, I said, I need your number. We need to connect. So we got on the telephone. Matter of fact, we got in Discord because
Yeah.
we got to set up the Discord for the subscribers.
You're
We
the
got
whole
on
reason I have a
Discord,
Discord.
and I said, let me show him some stuff. So I told him, I said, I know you lost all your stuff. I said, but let me show you how to still have your production value in a cheaper way. I turned him on the Canva Studio. I turned him on the
Wanda
InVideo.
share
I
in
turned him on
video.
to LTX Studio.
Oh my
I
God.
turned him on to
So,
CapCut,
Dreamscape,
to
DID,
Wondershare,
Summer,
everything.
everything, Joe. Like she flooded me with all these different programs. And
Flooded him.
I appreciate you, Empress, for being modest and making me sound very manly in the midst of losing my shit. No, tell it how it really was, y'all. I was crying, boogers and shit, y'all, snot, the whole
I told him, I said, don't worry about it. I said, I got you. I
was
said, let me show.
crying so
Now,
hard,
mind you,
man.
see, that's the kind of heart I got. And that's the kind of people who you should want to be around. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't tell him, in order for me to show you this, you got to pay me $200. You got to pay. How much money did I ask you for, Father Lock?
Not a dime. No,
Not a
no.
damn
Let's take
dollar.
it before that. Before you even showed me the programs let's go back. You created a whole opening for me. The whole
I
reason
sure
why
did.
Father Lock's Horror House Season 2, that opening, she created that opening for me. I was flabbergasted.
Sure did.
I get a message from her. Hey, Father Lock. Hey, my forever Empress. How you doing? I got something for you. I just couldn't help myself. Oh, what the hell she done created now? I'm thinking she talking about something she's created for her channel. She sends it to me, and I watched it, and my mouth hit the floor.
Yeah.
How do you even know how I like stuff to be? You don't know me. It was absolutely perfect. She captured everything her, but it was all about me. It was everything I could have asked for. She never asked me for a dime.
Never.
Then
He was like, I gotta pay you for this. No, you don't. I ain't asked you for that. Let me bless you. Because see, we are in a day and age where it's so much take. Somebody gotta take. That I said, no, let me pour into somebody else. I need to help him get to 1K. And I know if I can get him creating again, I can help him get to 1K. The same thing that he did for me in sharing my video, and that's how I started getting subscribers, and I got over that 150 some mark and start seeing numbers because he invested in my channel and started sharing it and telling people about it. I invested in him.
I had to. When I found out you was a one-woman show, and seeing the type of production you do, like, I don't down myself at all in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I said, I'm a producer, hands up and hands down. But I ain't never been no hater. And I've always told her, I feel you are a very much more craftier producer than I am. I know I'm more of a CG person. And you know me, I love my CG and, doing my little tricks and special effects in this. But to sit down and do the type of production that she does and put her heart in it, I have to tilt my head down to you and burn my bra. Like you do, you do what you do. And I told my Lock family, we set up a watch party, and I went to one of her videos, and I told them to come on Discord. So they all got on Discord with me, and we watched her video. Within a week and a half, 2 weeks, she was partnered with YouTube. They flooded her channel. The Lock family went over there and showed they ever love it.
They did. Came clean through. Clean through. And I love it. See, me,
All
when
my
I do a
kids, my
live,
nieces, my nephews, other subscribers, they went
yeah.
over there and they stayed in her live. They stayed.
Because see, what happened with the channel, because my channel doesn't really have a singular focus. Like, I don't specifically do horror. Like, you can
Right.
go on the channel and there's a section on the channel that's devoted to like my little animated vampire series, because I love vampires. I do. I'm a vampire fanatic. So it's called Fizz Fest. So I created these characters and a story, and you got a whole visual to go with the little story and all of that. So because my channel doesn't focus, because it's a city, it's the Champagne city. In a city, you don't just have one thing. So I open myself up. 1 minute, I might create something paranormal. 1 minute, I might create something on Hollywood. That's how you got the Hollyweird Untold series. It's about 6 of them in that. And I think when you came, I was doing, and I got to start back doing, I was doing my secret obsessions.
Yeah.
And I had 3 of them that I did. And I got to get back to doing my secret obsessions, because those was really fun.
I like the fact that you do different things on your channel. You have like this mainframe thing, but then you do different things. Like I do, I got this mainframe thing, then I do other different things. I do music, I do status, I have a status stalker show, selfie competition, paranormal show, stuff animated. I have my own animated cartoon, the Father Locks Mean Dog talent show, this and that and the other. But horror is my main base. You know what I'm saying? Empress, when Empress came to me about animation, I didn't know she liked animation like that. I have always wanted to do this animated series about these hybrids of fish and human hybrids or whatever, called the Vagueway people. That's when you told me about LTX.
Right.
I go over to LTX, put the stuff in there. It generated them into humans. It took the fish factor away, which is fine. It just made them a tribe that, I guess, worship this fish deity, I guess. I don't know. What the fuck to do, since it took the fish factor away from them, and it just put them in clothing that had fish scales all over it or whatever the hell. When it generated that first scene, like open trailer, and I seen how clear and how dynamic that damn thing. How many different things we didn't come up with thinking about doing after that. When I saw her first episode of Etoyo and her sisters in the Coven, when she did her vampire coven, that's what drew me to you. Because I didn't know you had one, because I have my own vampire coven. And that's my main character, as I, dress up as. I've actually did a show dressed in as a vampire or whatever the case may be. When I found that out and found out that we can collab, it was over with. It's so much stuff I want to do with her, y'all, because of her mind and the way I know how it would turn out because of her creativity. I've never, and I told her this, I'm not just not saying it. I've told her this many of times. I have never met a person that creative, as creative as I ever could think I could meet other than myself. And her stuff, Empress, I really think when we get that chance, We gonna have a series they gonna be trying to buy from us,
Yeah.
and I'll never sell. Nope.
Oh yeah. Because
If
it's
you,
so, when you find genuine people, and that's the problem in this day and age, and it's really so hard to find the individuals that you heard tonight that was up on the panel with me. They are genuine people. And I met them through YouTube. I'm not a individual who has a family. And they really became, let me not post, because I went through a time like majority of y'all who's been a part of the Champagne game for a while know, last year March, not this past March, but last year, I lost my grandbaby. And when I flew home to be with my daughter, when she lost the baby, because she still had to give birth, and that was one of the most traumatic experiences that I've ever had to go through, is to watch my baby in pain, knowing that she's giving to birth to a baby that's not breathing, then have to coach my daughter through letting her baby, my grandbaby, go when she had to leave that hospital without her baby. It was the most traumatizing point for me, but I had to stay strong for my daughter. And during that time, I poured myself into creating, into videos. When it came around to this March, to the year anniversary of my grandbaby's passing, I ain't even have it in me to deal with. I really didn't. I didn't have it. I didn't want to create. I didn't want to talk. That's why I went through a whole period of time where it was probably about 2-3 weeks where I didn't post nothing. I didn't post a video. On top of dealing with that, then you got to fight. If I have any people who are content creators out there, this is another talk your moment of irritation, because you have YouTube community guidelines that say all they want on YouTube is positivity, and they want to push positivity, but it seems like the channels that want to be positive and don't want to be wrapped in the drama and the negativity, you don't push those channels into the algorithm. You don't push those videos. What's pushed is toxicity and negativity and beef and arguing and fighting, and you see them channels cashing out. And you like, Lord, I just want to build a community of individuals who respect each other and love each other. A community of individuals that when we finally do get the money, we can start the Champagne City and really show them how to build a community of individuals from all different cultures and all different races that's coming together to build something beautiful.
To build something great, to have a positive community where people can come and feel wanted and respected, heard, and understood. Not just heard, but understood as well.
That's why I check people in the comments real fast. You get out of order in my comments, you're gonna get checked. Because I don't want anybody ever.
We're not finna go for nobody being in your
I don't
comments.
want anybody ever to feel like they can't comment because somebody's going to attack them. No, we don't attack over here. We don't do that. Save that for somewhere else. No, this is a community of peace. We got the late night show because that's when you do the pillow talk, when you can kick back and laugh and talk about anything. It's more intimate. So because it's more intimate, it has to be a safe space. So everything over here that we do is safe. It's safe. It's calm. Do we talk about some serious conversations? We absolutely do. But we gonna do it in love and respect. When we talk about young women out here walking around half naked showing their ass, yeah, we do. But we talking about it because we want you to have love and respect for yourself. We want you to get to a place where you don't feel like I gotta show my ass in order to be accepted or get somebody's attention. Because at that point, they only see you as a piece of meat. They don't see you as an individual. That's why it's so easy for men out here to call you a bitch because they don't see you as an individual. They see you as an animal. Because at the end of the day, a bitch is still a female dog. I don't care how many twists and turns and flips we put on it. A
That's right.
bitch is a female dog. It's an animal that walks around on four legs that will let anything stick her that has a pecker that's in heat if she's in heat. We want people to have respect for themselves. Young men have, if you can go out here on the street corner and you can tell this one to serve over there, that one serve over there, send this one to get the weed, send this one to get the product, have this set up so that you got a, see, that's why I couldn't sell drugs because I'd have to have a whole plan. I have to have it set up in such a way where my hands would never touch it. That when they would lock me up, they would lock me up for having a drug empire, not an organization.
And Empress, can I say something to you? I am so sorry you had to endure that time and that period. And I'm sorry if any of us irritated you because you know when you didn't come, you didn't post nothing.
Oh, they called me, honey.
You know, I messaged you like, is you all right?
Is you cool?
Is
You cool? Cause see that, see that again, that's the community that we're building over here. If somebody go missing, baby, we in inboxes. If I have now I know Father Locke works, and because of his schedule, there's a lot of times he can't be on the show, but he's listening to the show because of his schedule. But see, even that, we have such a connection that we know that. I'm not one of those channel owners or content creators where this is just my thing. No, this is our thing.
Yeah.
If I have a conversation with my champagne gang and they say, Empress, you should discuss da 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 da. This is important. I thought about this. All right, let me go researching and see what's going on. I'm not one of those. If a story drop, you never gonna really see me discuss the story as soon as it drop because I know over the next day or so, some more information is gonna come out, and I don't want to be one of those people that's just dropping stories based on hearsay. No, we do facts over here.
And I
We don't
appreciate
deal
that
with
'cause
hearsay.
people don't take the time out to really fully execute a story, fully look deep into it, dive into the information. The first thing they hear, they ready to get in front of the camera and put it. And it's so much more come out later. Then they wonder why they don't nobody want to watch it. You should have
And
waited
you
to get
talking
all
about
the
people
information.
lives.
Right.
You talking about people lives. So if you don't want nobody coming out putting out hearsay about you, then why you doing it about everything else, everybody else? You cannot bring out information and make information that you assume a fact. And that's what I have a problem with a lot of people that what they do with these stories. They come out with stuff and make it fact. If I cover a ongoing murder investigation and I come out with a bunch of assumptions, what I don't realize is the police are paying attention to what's going on social media. And every assumption that you put out as if it's a fact, the police got to go and research that and make sure it's not a fact. So you're taking valuable resources away from actually finding out what happened because now they're spending all this time researching everybody's assumptions.
Right.
And we wonder why it's harder and harder to get cases solved or why cases can get thrown out because you putting out false information. But we don't get that though. Because it's all about the click and the view. We're in a day and age where people don't care about fact. They gonna run with it just because somebody said it and jump on the bandwagon just because somebody said it. And then the bandwagon crash and burn with all of y'all on it.
Who all on it, who all believe it, who all following it. I mean, jump on the bandwagon.
Just jumping out.
Right. Don't try to figure out if it's true, anything been twisted, fabricated, nothing. Oh, well, they said it, and don't let it be somebody they really believe in said it.
Yeah.
It's totally Bible to these people.
I'm going to be dropping we're gonna have a new segment Y'all know I'm always creating something. We're gonna have a new segment on the Champagne in the Champagne City. It's going to be called, I either want to call it breakfast. Well, no, because I'm not gonna be eating. I think I'm gonna call it Coffee with the Empress. It's gonna be an early morning show, but
Okay.
this show is gonna be I have a video that I do that has like some early morning exercises to get you to kind of shake off that groggy feeling. It's going to have like positive affirmations to start your day, because a lot of times we don't wake up in the morning and put our command on the day. We don't state our intentions for the day when we get up. We just get up, wake up, brush our hair, and run out the door. We don't talk about what we want our interactions to be like. We don't talk about, one of my favorite scriptures is the Lord has given me the tongue of the learned. I
Right.
quote that scripture every single day, because anybody that I come in contact with, I want to be able to speak a word of encouragement into their
That's
life
right.
and positivity, so that even if they're having a down moment, if they're feeling depressed, just being in my presence lightens them up. So we're going to start that in the morning. We're going to do some encouragement. There's going to be, we might even get into some scripture, but it's all to get you to start your day off right. I guarantee you, if we start taking the time to start our day off right, our days will end better. But we don't state our claim on our days. We don't tell our days what we want the day to produce for us. So the day produces what it produces. So we're definitely going to do that. We're going to have a whole lot more encouraging stuff coming up. We're going to be starting back with our Wellness Waves Wednesdays. We're going to get that back up and running, and that's where we pause in the middle of the week and we deal with our mental health. When we started off Wellness Waves Wednesdays, we started it by doing Escaping the Heartbreak Hotel, talking about how we allow ourselves to mentally and emotionally check into these rooms emotionally and don't know how to break free and check out of it. We had the depression suite, we had anxiety boudoir, all kind of rooms we discussed. And then we went into managing your ship. And that series is really about teaching us to have meaningful relationships and being careful how we go in them, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, a companionship, all of those ships. We discuss how to manage them, because we don't know how to have meaningful anything anymore. Everything seems to be so toxic. So we got to learn how to step back, sit back, think about who we're allowing on our ship with us, who we're allowing to travel with us, and how we maintain and manage that ship. So we're going to be starting back with our Wellness Waves Wednesdays, because we need to really get a hold on our mental health. If you look at all the crime that's going on right now, we just covered the whole live, the argument that played out on live that ended in two fatalities between a husband and a wife. Everything for social media ain't nothing sacred no more. We really need to pause and learn some coping skills. And a lot of that is because we have so much anger built up from past situations that we've never unpacked and dealt with, that is spilling over into everything we say and do, including the relationships that we get in. And we keep thinking, what is going on that I can't have a meaningful relationship that lasts? Maybe you should stop and think about what baggage you're bringing into that relationship, and whether or not you're the one that's self-sabotaging it. So we're going to start back our Wellness Waves Wednesdays. Make sure you pull up for that. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Consider joining the Champagne Gang and the Fizz Fam. We do have other channels in the Champagne City. We have Champagne Secrets Reacts. That channel is really growing. It's, Lord, in the last week I went from like 50 subscribers to a little over 100. See, I be excited about the small stuff. I don't care about the big. I love the small stuff because it shows that building and that growth. But over on Champagne Secrets Reacts, that's where we do a lot of our reaction videos. We have our X Files exposed over there, and that's where we cover those TikTok story times. You know, everybody doing their story time on TikTok after Risa Tisa. So we cover all of our TikTok story times over there. We also have a segment over there that is called Champagne Shenanigans, and that's those pranks. I love a good prank. I'm a prankster. So we have a section over there that's devoted to nothing but like pranks and stuff like that. We have our Champagne Central. That's our AI channel. I'm in the process of developing that out, but that's going to be where we have the avatars run the whole thing. So they're going to have their own reality shows, their own news shows. They're going to cover stuff that goes on in the mainland. The bioverse is what I named it. So they'll be covering stuff from the bioverse, from their own world within the Champagne City. We have the Hennessy Zone that covers all of our true crime stuff, but there's no lives over there. That's going to be just videos, just creations, productions that we put together. And then we have Inky Noir Champagne Mysteries. Oh, we have Champagne Mystique. That's going to cover our paranormal stuff, our mysterious artifacts that shouldn't exist. There's 2 videos over there right now, and I'm working on creating some more. And then we have Inky Noir Champagne Mysteries. Any of you that like murder mystery dinner theater, if you like the old Poirot's and Alfred Hitchcock, those are stories that are told in like an old Alfred Hitchcock tone. Every single channel, the subscribers have like a different name. In Champagne Secrets Reacts, you're known as the Reactors. On Champagne Secrets Mystique, you're known as the Mystics. On Hennessy Zone, you're the Hennemies. Inky Noir Champagne Mysteries, you're the Shadow Hunters. Because over there we really cover stories where like the old Hollywood stories where individuals passed away and they're kind of unsolved, but yet there was really enough information to solve the case, but you quite don't know why they didn't solve it and find out who did it. So the Champagne City has a lot to keep you engaged and keep you apart. And I'm a one-woman show, y'all. I don't have a team. So I do all these channels and all the shows for each channel, every single part of it by myself. So it takes some time. So that's why we bounce between channels. But please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank each and every one of you. See, y'all, my allergies is acting up again. Thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. We had 2 shows. We talked about Tyler Perry, and we got to get back in that tomorrow because we were dealing with those text messages between him and Derek Dixon. And we also started talking about Ruthless, because if you watch Ruthless, I don't know why you're shocked by any of this, because Ruthless definitely matched his name. It was Ruthless. So we're going to get back into that, and we're going to continue to have these Talk Yo Shh. We're going to bring back our regular Talk Yo Shh. We'll have our random venting, and then we'll do the regular one where you can just come up and release that negativity and release it anonymously. You know, get all that stuff off your chest, because we carry too much weight. And I'm so tired of seeing so many people who are going through and who are hurt and who are broken. So our Talk Your Shh is really about getting it off your chest. You're anonymous. We respect every voice. It's a judgment-free zone. We don't give any advice unless you ask for it. We tell you to guard your peace. If you got to step away, get some water. And we tell you to speak real, not reckless. Because, you know, there's some stuff we can't say on YouTube. But outside of that, it's your time to vent and release that negativity so you're not consistently carrying old dead weight and baggage. I want us to be free mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, so that we can be able to become the best versions of ourselves possible. So thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to do it again. Well, tonight. Thank you for joining me yesterday night, because it's 2 a.m. Y'all, we've been on here almost 4 hours. I think this is my longest live ever. And it might have just about, well, no, close to the most people. Because I think when we covered Elon Musk and his robots and the robotic cars, I think that was the biggest live chat that I had. But thank you for joining me tonight. Each and every one of you are important to me, even if you watch but didn't comment. If you commented, Cabby, thank you for coming in. Krabby, thank you for coming in. You guys are great. Confidants. Baby, always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink till we meet again. To all my loves, I hope you have an amazing night.